Refresh. There we go. All right. Oh no, not uh, not live. It says upcoming, notified. Okay. Yeah. It says end stream. No, is anybody here? Live stream. One watching. Okay, I think we are live. All right. All right. Welcome to Smudge Break. All right. Let's see if anybody rolls in. Give it some time. How is everyone doing? The 2 people here. Trying to figure out this restream here. Is that comments? There we go. Why can't I comment in restream? Okay, it won't let me comment in restream. Let me watch. Title of this. Live with Restream, May 3rd. Maybe I can put it. What is it? Saturday. That sounds good. What happened there? Okay. Try that again. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll save that. There's a Friday. Yeah, no comments there. Either on YouTube or here. You guys bots? You getting a bunch of bots? Or are you doing what I told you and having a special? Hit the invite button. Okay. Oh, there we go. There. All right. What happens today? The guys here, China and India, are going at it. Came in for lunch. Okay. Just mowing your lawn for the first time. Nice. Yeah, it's a rainy day here. Well, not that I have a lawn plow. Wouldn't be able to mow it today. Yeah, that'll be an RV class maybe tonight. Yep. See if we can get Alexander's attention. Maybe, there we go. Again. I'll give my link. Okay, guys. Yep, that works. All right. See if Alex shows up. Who else shows up? Half acre with a push mower. Oh. Your other place is 6 acres. You have a mower. Mowers. Yeah, that's expensive. Yeah, it's just raining and cold. It's no spring worth talking about. Just moving some stuff around. Pretty muddled. I don't know if I can do anything. Might be temporary. Check over here. See what the sound is like. Could be the music in the background. It often interferes with the sound. Yeah, probably that. Might be dropping packets or something. Yeah, maybe. Let's see what happens when I turn it back on. It's back on, just at a very low volume. Now I can't hear myself. Hi, G. Yeah, it is that, for sure. I think it is, yeah. I'll just turn it off. We'll just have the pretty picture in the background. Hi, G. Good to see you. It's just playing with StreamYard here. Thought I'd start up the show. Where am I playing? Got my voice echoing in the background now. Okay. I think we're there. All right. Yeah, if you want to come up, I think the link's there. Did I put the link in? Yeah. Okay. So if there's anything you want to talk about, now would be the best time. I like that this has the show button too, because I can highlight stuff. Host. 47, even though I come off as a young punk sometimes. Pushing a mower for half an acre is annoying, just like when I was a kid. Yeah. I didn't magically get all mature and old and like doing this crap. No, there are some people that enjoy mowing lawns. Forrest Gump, apparently he liked mowing lawns. Oh, what's that? Okay. Yeah, and when I was a kid, I did not like mowing lawns either. There was no time in my life that I said, yes, I want to mow lawns because I love it. I did it for money for a while, so, and that was just trying to drive yourself as fast as you can. So, oh, we got somebody coming up. Oh, it's G. How are you doing, G?
I'm doing good. Hey, everybody. I discovered something yesterday. I'll talk to you about it in a minute. I don't want to change the subject if you got one going.
No, I don't. We were talking about not liking lawn mowing.
Mine is a little similar. Okay, here's my story. We purchased this home a few years ago, and it came with a water softener
Oh yeah,
because we have hard water. Desert, anywhere in the desert, it's going to be hard water. A
yeah.
lot of minerals. Okay. Well, it started getting defunct. It was doing its weird stuff, and we turned it off. We just have straight regular, and we love it much more. We think the water softener is a scam. I'm just saying.
Ah, now you're getting minerals and vitamin and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And no salt because it takes salt. If you have high blood pressure, do not get a water softener. That kind
Oh,
of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I learned a lot yesterday, and we have decided we're taking it out.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my first world problem.
Yeah, you can get your water tested and see what kind of minerals you have in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. They have little kits where you can stick stuff in the water. It tells the particles, and
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, all of that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we're just fine. I think it's a scam.
yeah, could be. Oh, there we go.
Oh, see,
Moving on.
Osaka loves the water heater. Cleaning the water distiller. Okay. Well, what it does, see, people don't realize it puts a coating on your pipes, on you, in your system.
Mm.
So you don't want minerals. Well, if you drink distilled water, that's not good for you. It pulls the good minerals out of your body as it goes through. Because
Yeah.
water. Oh, go ahead, Max.
I have a mineral stick for that. You can get them to put into your distilled water.
Yeah, yeah. It because water attracts minerals.
Yeah.
They're brothers and sisters. Okay, so when it goes through your body, it grabs all the minerals it can as it's going through and out. So you want minerals in your water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And electrolytes are good too.
Yeah.
I haven't found a good one yet, but I've tried a couple, but don't really like many of them. I'd like to find they're all flavored, and I don't like that. I don't like flavors and stuff.
Don't make it lemon whatsoever.
Oh yeah,
Whatever.
lemon,
Cherry.
orange, cherry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Why
I
do you
know.
have to do that?
Because it's a scam.
Yeah.
Half of this. Yeah.
Yeah, because electrolytes aren't really anything but magnesium, potassium, simple minerals,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you won't have to get those Gatorades if you just have good water.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have good water around here. There's a couple of wells, but they're too far away. Or springs, I mean.
Oh, so it travels a long way and then it gets processed again by the city.
Yeah. Well, they don't even use that. They use lake water.
Okay. That's soft water. Surface water is soft, and well water can be hard for the obvious reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, we use a lot of lake water because there's a lot of it around. So.
Oh yeah, the country of 1,000 lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I swear in the future, Canada's going to be going neener to everybody. We've got the water, people.
It'd be easy enough for the U.S. to drain it. They've got a few big pipes stuck in there already, sucking out the water.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So in the future, the argument over pipelines will not be oil. It will be water.
Could be, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they want to charge you for water everywhere now, right? So
yeah,
why should we have air to breathe for free? Even that was one guy's suggestion. Why should the people be able to breathe the air for free?
Yeah, that's next.
Yeah,
once they figure it out.
Well, they were taxing the rainfall, and they're trying to tax the rainfall in Toronto because that rain goes down public pipes, and we got to maintain those. So you guys got to pay for them. Anywhere they
Yes.
try to chisel you, right?
Yes. No, they absolutely did that to me in Portland, Oregon, because it rains
Did
all
they?
the time. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we paid for it in our
Oh,
sewers. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Sewer tax. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You could see on the thing, like, so many units of water went into the house, and
Yeah.
usually a third more of that was on our sewer out of the house because,
Mm,
rain,
yeah.
water. It's crazy. Hmm.
So we're gonna charge you for that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everything is a psyop.
Everyone can come up with a charge for something, right?
That's, yeah, a job and a charge for something. Yeah. Oh, while I'm here, wow, you guys had some heavy elections.
Oh yeah. Hi, Crystal. Yeah. Totally. Well, our system's kind of broken. All right. Later, ask a Shogun. Um, we have they gerrymander everything. So even if you have like a winning opposition in an area, what they do is they redistrict them, split
That
them up
saw
so
that.
their
Oh
votes
yeah.
don't count.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yep. I saw
We
that.
we have mail-in ballots now. We have foreigners voting.
Uh-huh. Oh,
We
you
have
just,
voting machines. Oh yeah, we got it all.
yeah,
So they're covered any way they want to go.
that's what I'm saying. And I don't think, just my humble American opinion, that Carney really got in there legit.
No, even the vote to get them in, they stopped counting the votes.
Oh, sure.
You know, not like you could separate the good votes from the bad votes and only count those, right? But yeah, he won with a resounding like 80 or 90%, almost unheard of, you know?
Of course.
That's just to get
Oh,
the leadership race. And then, yeah, to get into parliament, like everybody wanted change, um, wanted change from the liberal ideology. But they put Carney in, and suddenly everybody loves the liberal ideology and wants Carney to do it all,
according to the media.
according to the media. Yes.
Yeah, but talk to the average person. I follow several
Hi, Chloe.
Canadian news stations, and one of them went over to Alberta,
Yeah.
and just random people on the street, they asked, do you want to separate from Canada? And they were going, well, I've been hearing about that, and might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, we're in a liberal hellhole at the moment.
Yeah. Oh,
You know, run by
like us.
communist Chinese and
Biden's.
British. Yeah.
You just got the new Biden. There you go.
Yeah. Hi, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal. You might be muted.
Oh, I hear something. How you doing, Crystal? Can you hear us? Hi, S. Good to see you. I don't know what's going on. She's there. I'll leave her up.
Yeah. Just might have a mic issue, something.
Yeah.
Especially when you come on, possibly this is the first time Crystal came on the Restream, when you get on new platforms.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very easy, this one. People.
Yeah, not bad. It's almost like StreamYard in that sense. It's. I've been playing around with it, thinking of going to Restream too. And yeah, Alberta separated. There'd be. Yes, that's what they're fearing.
Yeah.
No.
BC is very liberal, though.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
China over there.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd be able to get that. They might get Saskatchewan to go with them. They're kind of itching towards separatism too.
Yeah. Oh, I heard. I don't know what territory resides above Alberta, but they said they want that as well.
Northwest Territories. That's huge. That's a
yeah.
huge stretch of land. Yeah.
Yeah, with nobody in it.
Yeah, there was this whole thing called Diagolon. It was a joke by one of the trucker's girlfriends on a map that was on the back of a door, and she separated out all the states that are like conservative, and it made a diagonal line from Yukon down to Florida, all the way through Canada.
Yes, slices. I think that's what I think is in the distant 21, 25, the year of. Yeah, I think things will shift, and they might just go with slices all down the North American thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
could be. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
keep us. We would be isolated from Canada with Alberta going through solo. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's
Yeah,
an interesting noise.
Yeah, Bex, you'd have to pay probably a toll to go through Alberta to get stuff to and from. Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, they already have tariffs between provinces for products and stuff. They already do that.
Oh,
So that's
of course,
not
of
much of a
course.
stretch.
Oh yeah, they do that here too. State traveling, they tax
yeah.
the big trucks when they drive
Yeah.
through a state. Oh yeah, oh that's all. Yeah, more money.
Yeah. My cigarettes are
More
5 feet away from me, and I can't reach them with my headphones on. Be right back.
Okay. And I was going to say, Crystal, why don't you go, if you can hear us, why don't you go out and come back in? That's what I would suggest. Something just did not grab. But she says in the back she can't hear us. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's weird. Could try rejoining.
Yeah. British Columbia, to me, I'm sorry, everybody. This was just my observation and my humble opinion. When I went up there, just seemed like another California. If that gives you
it is.
Yeah. It's the California of Canada.
Yeah.
And beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Beautiful cities up there. Vancouver it's a pristine San Francisco.
Yeah, and the forests are absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah. And they have a huge bays up there and islands. And it's just, I mean, it is just idyllic as far as that
Hot
goes.
springs too. They've got hot springs.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It is just, it's a great, I mean,
everything,
Yeah. But the politics will just absolutely squeeze you.
Yeah. Skiing and
everything. You got
just
it.
everything. Yeah. Hi, Nina. Good to see you. She may have her browser volume muted as well. That's possible.
Oh, yeah, that's what of course you would before you come in. Oh, she left. I hope she tries again.
Yeah, try again there.
Yeah. Because things get glitchy. You don't even want to hear the cuss words I have for Gmail chat. Yeah.
You have troubles with that, do you?
I do. It messes with me, my mic, and the little icons to do something.
Mm-hmm.
You want to leave a voicemail or make a phone call. They move them around and they give us no notice. I have to hunt for these little things to click. Where'd you put it now? Where's Waldo? That's what I call it now. Waldo Mel.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. There's a link if you want to come back, Crystal, or Nina, you want to come up?
Yeah. Or Bex.
Yeah, or Bex, or anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I know you and like you.
Yeah. As long as you behave well, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd like especially Canadians today, because I want to hear about how you feel. I mean, do you feel like I do? That's a song. That you have no control over your life anymore. Hi, Nina.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Last thing I just heard before I entered the studio, they was talking about British Columbia, where I happen to live.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, we want to talk about Canada. Because I mean, what you're going through, we go through, and then they trade things up. Oh, we'll try it over here for a while. If it sticks, then we'll, try it there. That's it.
Hi, Cobra.
Well, we had something weird with Canada Post yesterday. I went to post off a parcel, and the people, there was a lineup, which it usually isn't. And then turns out, they're having issues. So one person in front of me could not send any money through the MoneyGram. And the other two people weren't able to send out their parcels. Now, for
Right.
some reason, I was. They
Hmm.
were able to process mine. I'm not sure why. And I asked her, said, "Is this some kind of like, hacking or something?" She said, "No, it's not a hacking thing. It's something that's going on within Canada Post."
Huh.
And so it looks like there might be another strike. However, I haven't gotten any emails about them going to strike or anything right now. So I
Right.
don't know. Something is going on with Canada Post.
Hmm.
So if you guys are ordering anything from Canada, expect delays.
Yeah. Well, they were itching for more money a while back.
Yeah, well, they had the big strike there
So,
during Christmas, of course.
yeah, of course.
And I'm not sure exactly if they got what they wanted, but I did get an email a while back saying, or like last week, saying that they're negotiating again.
Yeah.
But there was no talk. They didn't say anything about going on strike or whatever. So I don't know what the heck is going on.
Yeah, they could just be having glitches in their systems or something.
Yeah, something's going on. It's something internal. So I don't know if are they sabotaging because they're mad at the corporation, or like we don't know.
Could
But
be.
it's not hacking.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not hacking from
It's
outside.
not hacking. Okay. Yeah.
So, but could people on the inside maybe?
Well, I suppose they could. Yeah.
That would be a good way to revolt, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, things are happening, that we don't know about.
Yeah.
So
So what do you think about? Do you think that BC would go with Alberta if they separated?
I have no idea.
Okay. Have you heard of the separation idea about Alberta?
I heard rumors. I try to stay out of the politics, to be honest with you, because it just upsets me. I just get pissed off. So I just try to stay out of it, although I can't help seeing things here and there, people talking about it. Yeah, Alberta's been talking about that for a while now. They're cowboy land up there. They don't, and the thing is that everybody here in Canada wanted or did vote for Pierre Poilievre. Like he was the new Trump here.
Yeah.
Like he was winning. So, and then all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, he had 60-70% approval rating across the board.
Yeah. No, that was a done deal a long time ago. Like we already knew that was going to be our new PM and blah blah blah.
And then
so I don't know what's going on
here. We loved Carney, right?
All of a sudden, yeah, exactly, right. So the only thing I can see that may have happened here is the immigration thing.
Could be, yeah.
Right? They're the only people that would have voted for Carney.
Yeah, we have the voting machines as well, too. So, and redistricting. So there are methods without them actually having to outright cheat, like you say. With the immigrants too.
Mm-hmm.
They imported 4 million. Well, we had 4 million early votes or something.
Yeah, something is not right. I would say that whole thing was rigged somehow.
Yeah, the biggest early voting in history.
Yeah, and why rush it? I thought we were waiting until October. Like, what's the rush? I guess it's one of those things because Trudeau did the same thing. Because he could see that his popularity was dwindling, and so he rushed it so that he could get back in. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what happened here again. Carney knew his days weren't outnumbered, and so they have to rush this thing because also with whatever, because they already know what's coming 3, 6, 12 months down the road. Yeah. And so if they had waited until October, there's no way he would have won. Even the immigrants would have gone against them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they had to rush it. But even without us knowing about what's coming here in the next few months, there's just no way, because everybody that I see here, everybody was voting for Pierre.
Yeah.
People.
Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Colin. Good to see you. Yeah. People I asked didn't vote for him. So didn't vote for Carney. Okay. Didn't vote for Carney. Right?
No, it's really sussy.
It's really like there might have been one person where I worked that voted for Carney. That was about it.
I know it's crazy. Yeah, and we know it's the Western NATO nations really running things here. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that latest video that's out about Canada and that Canada actually isn't a country?
No, I've reading Colin's
Yeah, that one's been
comment here. The
swirling
UK
around.
has no monarchy. Canada is free.
Yeah, apparently
Interesting.
whatever they put into action years ago actually isn't valid. I saw the whole thing, but I can't recite the whole thing. But
Okay.
um, it was like, wow. And so if
Hmm.
like say Trump or whatever, people know about this, it'd be very easy to take over Canada.
Oh yeah,
Very,
yeah. Okay.
very easy to take over
we're
Canada. We're
we're
like
we're
sitting
all
ducks
right.
right
We're all right along the border. We're just
now.
as close as you can
Yeah.
be.
Well,
Yeah.
Trump is trying to take it over with words.
Yeah, you could
Well,
do it
and he's going to
economically
be able
easily.
to with
Yeah.
the law. He's
Yeah.
going to be able to with the law. Now, after so this must be deliberately that this is coming out now through all our awareness that Canada is actually not legal. None of the things we put
A
into
loophole.
yeah. So if
That's
you
funny.
were Trump or somebody else, legally they can just do it.
Hmm.
So there's some really interesting things coming up.
That's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a crazy world.
I know. It's like a clown show.
The monarchy, you kind of have to believe in the monarchy, right? So, everybody seems to have subjugated themselves to the monarchy. I don't know. So how does it that we're not subjugated by them? Yeah, it didn't work for you, eh, Crystal? Any of you talking? Yeah. New device?
Yeah, we can't hear you
Yeah,
either.
could be your settings. I'm not sure.
Something.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
trying
about
to get in?
Oh, Crystal.
Yeah, you got a new streaming service. What is this?
It's Restream. Did it work well? Seemed to work well for
Yeah,
you.
it was no problem getting in for me. It's the
Yeah.
same sort of thing as all the other ones. It's just
Yeah.
that, yes, so you're no longer on the StreamYard or whatever it was?
No, they suspended me.
What?
Yeah.
For what?
They wouldn't tell me, and I didn't ask.
You're kidding.
No, they suspended my.
So if YouTube doesn't get you, the streaming service will.
Well, yeah, I guess they don't like what my
Wow.
content
Well, how
is.
can they do that without you? I can see
I
if
don't know.
YouTube
It
took
says
you
it's
down
free,
or
like it's a free service, correct? Unless you
yeah,
want to pay for it. They
right?
didn't like me using it for free, apparently, maybe, or they didn't like what I was saying, or I'm not sure.
Oh, that
You
is
know,
weird. Yeah, I pay big bucks for mine, so they better
yeah,
not. But yeah, you could use mine for free as well. But yeah, you just don't have all the bells and whistles. Yeah, I don't know
yeah.
why. Maybe they figure you've used it too long that you should be paying by now. But then again, they can't. There's
There's
no
nothing in there.
that says that you have a time limit, right?
No.
Ah, huh.
They say 20 hours, and then you're cut off for a
Right.
month, right? But what I do, maybe it's because I cheat the system. I just unsubscribe and subscribe again. Because as soon as you unsubscribe, it tries to get you to subscribe again, and it gives you another
Okay.
20 hours.
Okay. Right.
So maybe
So they
that's
don't like that. Yeah. You're this thing is all
Yeah.
just a big game, and it's all about playing the game.
yeah.
Right.
And they
You
don't like
found
it
a
though when you
loophole
figure it
and they
out.
didn't like it. Yeah.
They don't like it when you figured the game out.
Hmm.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, a friend of mine
Yeah,
told me that when I was using StreamYard. She said, "Oh yeah, you can just unsubscribe and subscribe again. And then they give you another 20 hours." I say, "Oh great, that's fantastic." Hi Brian, good to see you. So yeah, maybe after a year or so, they got sick of me cheating the system and suspended me.
Yeah, must have been. They figure, yeah, we're not going to get a dime out of this guy. Let's get rid of him.
Yep, yep. But they get the content, right? They get the algorithms, the information to sell.
Well, that's the thing,
Like
and they got their little logo up top there for everyone
Yep.
to see.
Yeah, I'm advertising for them. I'm giving them data.
Yeah.
What's your problem? Right?
They want more.
Oh, yeah,
More.
Yeah.
Everything, right? Like we pay for the internet, but they bloody well run it through our bodies. That pisses
I
me
know.
off.
I know.
Give me some money.
Right?
I
Yeah.
deserve it. You're using me. Give me some money. What's this? Climate climate viewer maps. Oh, okay. Extremely low ELF, ULF, VLF transmissions. Oh, cool. Interactive map.
Hmm.
Go down a bit. Ooh, these are all the ELF sites. VLF. Cool. Let's go looking. Oh, have you got some around you? These are these low frequency. Oh, I'm sandwiched between two. I got this one here and this one over here
I
because
can't
I'm right
see
down
anything.
here.
Oh, there we are. It's a bit of a
All
lag
right.
between the audio and the video. So, okay,
Yeah.
what's this? VLF.
These
What is this?
are VLF sites. So very low frequency. They're
Oh, okay.
ELFs and VLFs. So you can, this
So
is a
where's
map
that?
that shows where you are.
Remote areas, I guess.
Yeah, pretty. It doesn't have to be like they go very long distances. So yeah,
Are those
they can
supposed to
be in
be for
remote areas.
communication? I just wondered.
I don't know. I think
I'm
they
just wondering,
are. Yeah.
what are they used for? I'm clueless. Hey, Grandpa Brian, 420, rock on.
It's got to be 420 somewhere.
That's
No,
right,
it's
coming up somewhere.
You got a whole
Yeah.
bunch of units over here on the west.
I know, man. I'm like right on the line or something.
You're saturated. You're down here almost, aren't you? Somewhere around
Wait,
here.
yeah, you got to go
Where is
south. Look
Maybe,
for Las Vegas. There I am.
Oh,
I'm not in
well,
Las Vegas though, people. Far from it, but yeah.
I was going to say Vegas will definitely not be a low frequency.
You'd think. Yeah, they want all the positive ions they can get. Juice people up to gamble.
Well, I was going to say on different
Oh,
levels
hey,
of frequencies going on there.
Wow, look at that.
Where is this?
Hawaii. That was Hawaii he just passed.
Yeah, look at
Well,
all
Hawaii is supposed to be very good. Like there's some grid lines there, and it's why you feel good when you're there, and so and it's hence why they want it. Why do you think they burnt down Maui and everything? They want to build there.
Yeah, put a VLF tower in, another one. Oh, look at that down
none
in
Africa.
Saudi Arabia, man. That's like,
That's crazy.
wow.
Europe. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, give it up. So this must be for communications.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the blackout? Speaking of Europe, blackout in Spain and Portugal there.
Yeah. What's that?
You know, that's a test run. You know, that's coming here as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always blink the lights just before they raise the rates.
Or before they're doing something. There's a
They're
reason
going to
why
raise the
they did
rates.
it.
Yep.
They might be changing out the old systems, putting in something new.
Yep. Yeah.
Great
something
time
like
to
that.
do it when the lights are out, of course, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. You're right.
You know,
They have to unplug to install something.
right, exactly.
Change.
There's multiple agendas done at the same time, for sure.
That's a good thought.
Now in Europe, of course, they're a lot more calmer there. You know, you didn't see all the looting and all the stuff that you see here when it happens. You know, they just went about their day. A lot of them have fireplaces and all these old stuff, anyways. You know, so you didn't see the you know, and I don't think you see a lot about it on the news either. You know, I don't think people over here realize how long these people went without. And they might even be without now. Like I heard something about a week. Can you imagine going a whole week? People would go insane over here.
Zoom into your car. Check out the zoom resolution. Okay.
Yeah, something's wrong. Something's wrong, at least over here in the States. Everybody's mad and they just resort to knee-jerk violence. It's wow. Anyway.
Yeah, they go insane. They can't handle it.
Yeah.
It's because, you know, they have never had to. That's the thing. You've never had a war here. You've never had anything happen on the soil here. And
No.
people have forgotten how it was like.
Very, very good
No?
point. Because
And
in Europe,
everybody, yeah.
they always have wars, and trust
Yes.
me, they tell the next generation, be careful, because it's not an if, it's a when.
Oh
know.
yeah, I grew
Mm.
up
And-
post-war, and I
Mhm.
heard all about it. You know, and my dad was literally conceived, or born 9 months after the war ended. You know what I mean? He's
Oh,
one
yeah,
of those
yeah.
true boomers. Now, yeah, I mean, they had everything. That's true. That was probably the best time to be here, to be honest with you. The boomers there, they had all the opportunities and everything. But it seems to be every 100 years, or so, there's another war. That stimulates the economy. Different agendas. There's a lot of different agendas
Just
there.
happens, eh? Nothing we can do about that, right?
No, it just happens to be, so,
No.
and so growing up in Europe, I remember the sirens and having to go and hide in the basement. They were still doing the drills when I was in school. So, yeah. And then I moved over here and we got the drills of the earthquake going under our desks and whatnot, so I pretty much had, that kind of from day one, and it's still kind of over here, but yeah, a lot of people in America, and everybody feels entitled.
Oh, it's beyond. It's the
Right?
hubris is just
Oh
really.
my gosh!
It
and
scares
so
me. It
everybody feels
aggravates me at the same
entitled
time.
to a new house, entitled to a new car. They'll go into massive debt to get it. They don't care. They'll have car payments, mortgage payments, and then they got to work 2-3 jobs.
And they'll cling on to that materialism.
Oh yeah.
Right down the line for the government to go, okay, we'll be big mommy and daddy and take care of all of that for you, as they take over communism or whatever they have in mind. Yeah, that's how it rolls. They're stuck.
It's just gotten, but mind you, that was done deliberately.
Yes, it was. Yes, and it did. You're right, and it started with the boomers. They
had everything handed pretty much. All the big cars, everything was big house, big car.
Yeah, big life.
Well, that
who
should
did
be
that?
how
Peter Gabriel.
And you could afford to have mom at home, so which is a luxury. I mean, what a luxury that is. I mean, now though, the thing is that now that mom's got to go out to work, what's mom doing? Oh, she's hiring a cleaner.
Yeah,
she's
and a babysitter.
To do her nails, right?
Yeah.
And then she's got to hire somebody to dry clean her clothes and do her hair every week. You know what I mean? Like, so are we really making any money? Are we saving any money here? Not really.
Are we doing better?
No.
We're not doing better, that's for sure.
No, it was a lot simpler when mom was at home and she didn't need all that stuff. But yet everything was done. You got homemade cooking, gardening, everything, like it's just, I don't know, just the whole thing just went to shit.
It went to shit, yeah.
It did.
By now, we should have to work about 3 days a week, and have more than our boomer predecessors had.
Yes,
But
and at least food safety, food security.
Yes.
This is ridiculous.
Security.
I see Grandpa's. I'm gonna allow that comment. I see his comment here, the last one. They didn't know any better. They were born in.
Yeah, don't blame a generation. Okay.
Well, they are,
I was
and they're all gone now. They're more. They're all died from cancer. Nobody's made it to 70 here in my.
Yeah, they just lived the life that was provided for them.
And taught to them, indoctrination. We all are. And I had a government teacher explain to me the cycles of our cultures, and it starts out with struggle, industry, innovation to fix the struggle, abundance, decadence, and decline. Those are the 5 stages, and it goes around in a circle. It's a cycle. So each generation's kind of born into those facets of the cycle. And the boomers just got decadence. It was just the cards they were dealt, because the abundance came from the World War II generation, and they ran with it like hot red Mustang.
Well, it could have continued. But corporatism got in there.
Greed.
And then they started getting rid of the lifetime jobs, getting rid of the
stability,
the benefits. Like most places used to have like a retirement benefit on their own without the government and that. you know, that could actually take care of you. So you did really well. Like
Yeah.
when you retired as a boomer, uh, they phased out all those jobs, right?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yes.
they played it
You
to
know, so
the
then they
hill. Yeah.
kept everybody down. You know, the newer jobs were coming in at, you know, $5 or $7 an hour. The boomers were making around, you know, 19, 20, you know, and that was the big gap right there. It was a stark divide. It, you know,
Yes.
it just hit like a ton of bricks. And right after that, nobody could afford a house.
Well, and also
Yeah.
they changed the priorities. You know,
Could
when I
barely
was,
afford to survive.
yeah, you know, when we were growing up, it was really okay to get a high school diploma and then go get a trade. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it
but
still is,
now,
actually. It
w-
still
y-
is.
well, here in the States, they promote the college experience so much
Well,
so
I would
that no,
say
seriously, no, it's overboard. 70% of the people coming out of high school now are immediately going into college. That's way overpriced and way undervalued because you get crap. Trust me, I went to college, and it doesn't help. It just gives you a debt. And
I know we went through this phase sort of in the 90s, I would say. Everybody was sort of looking at the computer and this is the
let's
way
get
of
a
the
new
future.
career in the
Everybody was going back to school or taking jobs that were with that because it was
Yep.
like the
big
newest
thing.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And so we actually lacked tradespeople, and they were crying about it because now the older generation are retiring. Well, there's nobody to take over. There was a bit of a gap there, but I think they smarten up because I know both my kids went trades, you know, and they're making really good money, you know, and we know that they're not going to lose their jobs, you know,
Right.
even if he
But-
loses the job down at the docks, he's still got an electrician that he can go and do something else. You know what I mean? So so I think I see a lot of the younger people now are cluing into that.
Yeah, I
They're
think
like,
Gen Z's and Alpha, whatever's coming next. Yeah, I think they're going to be smart, and like I said, they're going to be, you know, after you know, we go into, you know, the demise of everything, we come back to struggle, and they're going to pull us out. But we
It's
have
420. It's 420.
420. Hey, let me do this before.
where back
Right
east,
here
I guess.
Anywhere you
right here in
want.
Ontario.
Well,
it's 420.
I'm on the West Coast. It's 420, 24 hours a day here.
There's
Mhm.
my grow.
But yeah, you know, and
I don't know how
now
to put that up.
the tech people
yes, I
are
do.
seeing their jobs being overtaken by the robots. So like coding, that's a thing of the past. The computer can do that coding way faster than a person now. And same with
Mhm.
writers and authors. The whole Hollywood industry is going to be gone. We don't need the actors. We don't need to be paying them all that money. We do AI generated now.
Yep.
You know, you
Don't-
think you're looking at a real person, but you're not.
Don't
you
need
know?
call center peoples. Don't need operators.
Yeah,
don't
there's
need,
so many jobs that are going to be gone.
don't
but
need
you still
FBI
need
or
great
CIA
people.
because they can track
That's
and
right.
surveil
That's
you.
all going to be gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
the machine's going to keep all that information
Oh, yeah.
and retain it a lot better than you and I. Because
Oh,
you and
yeah.
I are doing this stuff. We don't remember shit. You
That's
know,
right.
so
It's going to remember everything. You know, it's got little tags
well,
on
the machine
people.
sure remembers every conversation we're having here. Even though we
Yeah,
might forget what we said,
Yeah.
the machine's already recording it.
I was trying to explain that to somebody last night. Like they were saying, well, I can get away from the machine if I put myself in a Faraday cage, go underground. And I said, okay, but you have to now not move, not breathe, and not be in your DNA. But even if you could hide from the system, it would tag you as missing. And as soon as a new entity came into view, it would catalog, tag, and process you. Like,
Yeah, well, there's going to be facial
it's got
recognition
so much
everywhere.
detail.
So you would
yeah.
have to pretty
Well,
much
it's
go
more than
underground.
it's even
I
more.
guess.
Well, they tried it with the what was it called? Jade Helm, right? It's a lot more than just facial recognition. It's body recognition. It's your blood
Yeah.
pressure. It's your
that's
heart
right.
rate. You know, it's all kinds
Yeah.
of metrics that are unique to you. Every heartbeat's unique. You know, every walk, gait. You know,
Yeah.
and they can track that with cameras or radar and other systems. So yeah, like they can use the air molecules around you as sensors. So
Yeah, I'm sure they can sort of track your DNA too. You know, I mean, we you know,
you got to
eliminate that stuff.
link-
The elimination goes somewhere. They could test
Yeah.
that. They can figure out who's, you know.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
all linked to your digital twin.
Who was it that insisted on taking it with him? There was one of was it Putin or I can't remember who it was now. It just came to me now. That actually would take their poop with them if they had to go poop in public place or whatever. They would take the poop with them.
Oh, I don't recall hearing that. That's neat.
Yeah, I heard
Is
about
that
that.
for
I can't remember who
DNA?
it was now. I don't
Yeah.
know. They didn't
Yeah,
say
it was
why,
DNA.
but yeah. So there's something to do with
Probably,
there's something
yeah.
to that. Yeah, they can
Yeah,
find
yeah.
out a
Yeah,
lot.
'cause
They
you
can
would
find
have-
out if you're sick. You know, if you got colon
Yeah,
cancer, maybe.
you
or
expel
whatever.
cells when you poop, like your own
Yeah.
cells
Yeah.
come out.
Oh, bigly.
Yeah, they can find
And
out
yes, and they can have a weapon designed just for your
for you.
particular.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they were
that's why
claiming
they were
in
doing all
Ukraine.
the DNA things. You know,
Yeah.
23andMe. Hey, everybody, check
Oh.
this out. You know what I
They,
mean?
I heard claims that they had like a Russian-specific bioweapon in Ukraine, that they were working on something
Oh, I
like
wouldn't
Yeah,
be
like
surprised,
that.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Anybody who's had a blood test since
Yeah.
1986, your DNA is in the system. If they
Yeah.
find that one of your relatives is a serial killer because of a DNA connection, they will just say, "Oh no, they went to 23andMe and we found it that way." No, they
Mhm.
didn't. Mhm.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're all screwed that way because everybody's, you know, I mean,
It's
they
in.
take your heel sample as soon as you're born.
Yep.
So they won't even let you out of the hospital without that. So
Yeah, you had to
know,
sign something.
yeah, so they
So-
just do it. Actually, I gave birth twice. They didn't ask me, "Oh, do you mind if I go and
Oh,
prick
no.
your son's heel?" No, and I was never asked.
No,
That
it's
was
the
all
law.
done. They take them and they do whatever they're going to do with them, and you don't have no say in it.
That's right.
Process and
You know?
catalog them, eh?
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it, you know. So even
Yeah.
if you make a choice now not to, I mean, but as we get older, we have to do blood samples once in a while,
Mhm.
you know, to stay alive.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
you know, we can say we don't want to, but we all have, and we all do. Yeah, even without that, and then never mind all the testing that was going on in 2020 down your nose.
yeah.
Are you
But-
kidding me? Do you know the amount of DNA samples they got from everybody?
Mhm.
Yep.
That,
know,
and I
from
think
that
they
as well.
planted something up there while they were doing it. That's why it
That's
hurt.
another possibility. It can't be
Mhm.
anything good. Yeah,
Nope.
no. I
A
hope
tracking device at minimum.
not. Yeah, who knows?
How are you going to get it out? Oh, do you remember that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, yeah.
Total Recall. He had to pull that thing out of his nose.
Yeah.
Hmm,
Yeah.
That giant egg thing. out of his
Yeah.
mouth,
great. Yeah, lovely. Oh,
yeah.
this game is just getting better and better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
I still hold out that, you know, all this technology, it can be used for good. They just have to.
Oh, that's the thing. It always could, right? Even the
Yeah.
guy that came up with the A bomb, you know, it was meant for something good, and then he realized what they were going to do with it. He lost himself, you know. So you know, and that's the thing about all of this stuff. It's like weather manipulation things.
Oh yeah, imagine how
meant to
well
be
they could use that.
You know,
that would
why
be
is it-
awesome.
No, knowing that we have that, why is it that some places have droughts
Yeah.
and they don't have food and they can't feed themselves? Why is that when we know
Yeah.
how to do this now?
Right. We can
And
direct
now-
rain to crops. We can have
Yeah, there's no
everybody
reason
everybody
why
could have
everybody
rain
doesn't have
at
a great
3
crop.
a.m. in the morning. They could
Yeah.
have a wave of rain go around the world
That's right.
once
Yeah.
a day.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. There's no
Yeah.
reason for anybody to starve and not have food.
I know
Mm.
because it's good and evil, basically. It's like they get in charge and they're going to use it for malefict
They always use it
Yeah.
against us instead of for us. That,
Yes,
unfortunately.
to
Same
control.
with Tesla. Same with Tesla with all the free energy and all these things that he had come up with.
Mhm.
Oh, no. If we can't put a meter on it, we don't want it. Is what JP Morgan said.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those are the people, unfortunately, who created the system. But at least we're wakening up now.
Hi, Jackie.
And so hopefully we'll make some change. Hopefully some good
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
So
Like, if they have all these great things to sell us that help improve our lives, with technology and frequencies and stuff,
mhm.
why aren't we getting that for free?
Oh, well, there's no profit in that.
Well,
How's the guy going to be a billionaire
but,
if you don't get
taking the
stuff
other
free?
end of it, they know that the radiation and that causes damage. There's no recourse for it, but yet they could use it to do good. So
Right.
I think there's
Well, it's
something to
not to
think
do
about that. Is that a crime against humanity? Does that
Yes,
supersede? Does
I
that
would say it
supersede
is.
local laws?
I concur.
You
Yeah.
know,
hmm Same with
I
the
think it
medical
does.
system down there. If you don't have insurance, you die. No, that's
Well,
that's a crime against humanity too. Everybody should have a right to health care.
As much as they can help.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you don't let
But
somebody
it's-
lay there and die
Yeah.
when you
Well,
can help.
we should be
know?
in a world of do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right?
Yeah, well, that's just it, right? If we
We can
all,
get there. We can get there. You know, we
it
can
would
get
be
there
nice.
naturally on our own, but we can get there artificially too. You know,
We would
uh,
all be like children. This is what they're
yeah.
talking about in the Bible, to be like children, being
Uh-huh.
innocent,
Yeah.
and think that way.
Yeah.
And not think game, not to think, oh, how can I profit, or how can I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
don't be a conniving little rat shit.
Conniving.
Yeah.
We are as a humanity, and
Yeah.
it's
Everything's a
we need to
grift.
change
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
getting
Why are
old.
we doing that? Be like children,
Mhm.
innocent.
Somehow we've been
Yeah.
indoctrinated and guided down this path, and it can
Yeah.
change at any time. I think it will. I think we just have to hit a bottom like an alcoholic. We just got to hit
Yeah.
a bottom before we go, enough, really, this time.
Yeah, well, I think we're kind of getting there now.
I think so too.
we're
It's
getting
Yeah.
real
coming.
close. I sure hope.
Hi,
Yeah,
Scotty.
how much worse can it get?
Yeah.
Knock on
They
wood,
say
huh?
the generation coming up underneath the college kids are more conservative than ever. So
Yeah. I think they're going to be
Wanna go
smart.
back. Yeah,
They're
back
gonna-
to family values.
Mhm.
Go back to natural everything. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of the young people.
yeah,
are
they don't want artificial clothing. They don't
Yeah.
want that.
They're getting more.
Um,
What do they call it? Crunchy. I think my son called it.
Based.
They're
Granola.
crunchy. Granola is
okay.
another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Birkenstocks and gardening and long
Yeah.
hair. And almost going a little bit towards the hippie sort of
Mhm.
again.
Oh.
A little bit more relaxed. They're not drinking as much, the new generation, as we were.
No, and they're not smoking as
Good.
much cannabis either.
Yeah, well, a lot of
asked.
the cannabis, I think, is still, and then they're microdosing more now.
A lot of vaping.
Oh yeah, that's
a lot
it's
of,
more. It's more
It's
of
more
that
that
stuff.
now.
Yeah,
yeah.
Pot and
Vaping,
video games go
yours
together.
another one.
And that's kind of what they do for their
Yeah.
leisure time.
all
Which-
the kids vape their pot and stuff around.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
right.
vape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way they can do it inside and do it places where you can't normally do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, the video game thing, I used to think that, whoa, what a waste of time that was. I didn't realize that if my son wasn't video gaming, he would not know. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be in the know. You got to know your enemy. And when I looked into the video games that he was playing too, I know that, oh my God.
Oh, the
They were all being
symbology.
groomed.
Yeah.
It's all groomed towards what's going on. You know what I mean? They didn't
Yeah.
even realize that. But out of it though, you're getting hand and eye coordination skills, shooting skills, surviving
Loretta.
skills,
Hi, Mr. Mission.
different things, right? And yeah, so which you're going to need in order to keep up in the future here. If he hadn't of, he would be behind. So.
Plus, he'd be a social outcast too. So, because
Yeah, well, that whole thing was kind of the beginning of not going outside and socializing, unfortunately. So they
Yeah.
had their headsets on and they're talking to people all over the world, playing the game together, so they're socializing online, you see, and this is how it all sort of started. And then with 2020, after that, nobody's going out, nobody's doing anything. Everybody's just at home, online, like we're doing right now, right?
Yes.
Instead of us being outside right now, talking to our neighbors, we're sitting here online talking to people from far away instead. And that's what everybody's doing. And so we're losing our social skills, unfortunately. That is one
Yes.
thing. They might be increasing their skills in shooting and survival and all that kind of stuff, hand-eye coordination, all that stuff.
Programming, computer
To
problems.
talk to a girl, they're not going to know how to do that. Your social skills, like, how awkward they're going to be, so that's how it's gotten.
Isn't there a syndrome in Japan like that where they're young people
I think
just
so.
they live at home with mom and dad and play video games, they never get married?
Yeah, well, this is all over the world now. It's not just in Japan.
Yeah, they have a name for it though. I forgot what they called it. Yeah. It's a syndrome
So
from
they've
our
lost
culture.
and so So that's lowering the birth rate, obviously. You
Yes.
know, and so this, yeah, it's a real problem in Japan, apparently, a real problem.
Well, China's
And
got the 3-child policy now.
oh,
Oh,
do they now?
do they?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
Well,
yeah.
they kind of
They
fucked it up
totally
for having the one child, because
they
now
Yes, that
totally
was
and
bad.
they totally broke with the WEF and that. They're
did they?
oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, the
Hmm.
BRICS thing kind of is what they're pretty upset about, right? You can't have your own money, right? And because two superpowers did it together, there's not much they can do about it,
That's
All
right.
right.
you know.
But they're always going to look for an opportunity, though.
So
Right?
they're trying to gin up
Lurking.
wars, right, between Russia and Ukraine,
Yeah.
Israel and other countries. You've got China and India revving up now. They're having skirmishes.
Yeah.
And that's going to be great for Canada because we've got a ton of Chinese and we're importing Indians like crazy.
You know what I
Mhm.
find an interesting timing on this is India now has overstepped China in population growth. They are the number one most populated country,
Yeah.
and they're going to war. Do you kind of think something coincides there? A little,
Mhm.
dot connection. They hit a point, and then we got to go to war.
Yeah.
That's what I see. And I also want to throw in here, I question overpopulation numbers, like everything. I'm a girl of many questions. I
Yeah.
question the numbers. Show me. Just saying.
You know, I've thought about that too, because as a, like, say China and India, or sort of the most popular, you're always going to want to seem bigger than you are, right? So that you're the big man on campus. So I've always wondered that too. Are the numbers real, or are they just saying that so that they appear to be bigger than they are? Who knows?
I don't think there's going to be any big crap event there, Loretta. It'll be slow. That way they can keep plausible deniability. Just all these events will just keep happening,
Yeah, it's just
weather,
happening slowly.
wars,
Yeah, it's happening slowly. Yeah.
viruses, whatever you believe those are,
Yeah. Well, they're still ramping up with this whole bird flu thing. So,
Yeah, my
this.
wife just got diagnosed with symptoms after symptoms of
Oh,
COVID.
really?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so
Right.
yeah. But she went downtown, and every time we go downtown, we always come back feeling like crap.
Well, so don't go downtown then.
We don't. We try not to because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's too much electricity down there, too much radiation. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
there's too much of everything down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
You go to the hospitals, and I can't even go to the hospital there. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have all their cauterizing machines, 5G everywhere,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
thousands of signals, right, that they have to
Mm-hmm.
transmit there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Like the amount of data going through those patients. No wonder everybody goes to the hospital and gets sick,
I know, right? Yeah. Never mind the spiritual aspect of it. You know how many people
Yeah.
died there, right? And how many people are still trapped there, not realizing that they are dead. And there's a lot of that going on. You know what I mean? So it's just the energy there. It's just
Well,
really.
yeah, a lot of people go there just to die,
Well, most
unfortunately.
people,
You know?
I hate to say it, but that's usually your last stop.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. With all that radiation, they kind of help you along their way. Like if I had known what I know now, I would have taken some of my family members out of the hospital because it was things like a flu that took them down, And if I
mhm.
had known that if I got them out of that, they probably would have gotten over it and gotten better, you know.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, most of the time it's pneumonia that gets you. So, you're, in bed too much, basically. So
Mm,
whatever's keeping you there,
yeah.
it's actually not what kills you. It's because you're laying there and not moving, and you're getting pneumonia, and that's usually what people die from.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, usually complications,
which is a complication,
Yeah.
and and that's the same with the flu. Yes, elderly people do die from the flu.
Mm,
You know,
kind of. Kind of.
But it's
What
usually
it does
because
is it weakens their body and the
yeah, well,
things
they
that
can't
are,
handle it. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
the
Like
things
so,
that
and the
are,
flu turns into pneumonia. So it's not actually the flu itself, but it's the pneumonia that develops because they're bedridden. You know, and their
well, a
immune
lot of
system
their
is
organs will
low
give
and
out after a little while of having the flu because it weakens the whole body.
yeah,
So
and they're
people
already
with
weak and
liver,
old as it is.
kidney, heart, other problems with their
Yeah.
organs, that's oftentimes how they go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always
Yeah.
been that way, and that's kind of how it goes. That's nature. You know,
Mhm.
it's weeding out the weak, essentially.
Well, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I should have
Well, it
taken.
happens with
I should have.
animals. You
I
know,
should
it's
have. You're not. Hold on. I should have taken. As I said, I should have taken some of the people that I know out of the hospital because it was, in fact, that degradation that
mm-hmm,
led to other problems.
mm-hmm.
So, you know, just saying it's not really could entirely not be natural. You know, all of this disease that we have, I don't think very much of it is natural at all. I think it's all being put on us.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
I think so too. Oh,
you know,
yeah, it's a
so I don't
deliberate
think
thing
so.
that's made
Having
in the
that be the
laboratory.
natural way to go, I don't think it is at all. You
No.
know,
No,
I, I
that's
think
true. Yeah.
I think we just lie down one day and stop, like they claim in the Bible, how
Mm,
Moses and those people went. You know, you lay
mm,
down, your time comes, you lay down, you cross your arms, cross your legs, and go. You know,
mm.
that's probably how we were meant to go, not this disease-ridden, you know,
Yeah, I know,
painful,
right? Well,
wretched
that's how
death.
the
You know?
natives did it. You know, the
Yeah,
guy would just leave the village and go and find a nice spot, sit
yeah,
down. Now,
yeah.
I don't know how many times was it animals that, you know, or
I
who
think their
knows?
bodies just stopped. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
most
yeah,
animals can sense that too, right? So there would be no
just wait,
need.
just
Yeah, they
wait.
would just wait,
Yeah,
right? They would
yeah,
just sit and wait. That one's going to go soon.
yeah.
We'll just wait.
Be a lot easier. Yeah, then you don't have
Yeah,
to fight. Yeah, yeah,
high desert rose, and that I think was the natural way.
yeah.
You know,
And then the white man came in with some lovely blankets.
hmm.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
Let's not go down that way again.
Fache's weapons, I think.
Yeah.
Pirates. The
I think they
pirates
came in and
arrived.
electrocuted them.
You know, so in a sense, we can say that it's not like we haven't done that. You know,
Yeah.
that's what's being done to us. It's just blankets
Yeah,
are different now.
yeah,
Different blankets, new disease.
Mhm.
Yeah,
New words.
yeah,
Same story.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
water slide, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the those things under the pyramids, those
Mm.
tubes with the circles running around them, they're just big water slides.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You get on the slide, you go down, you get off in the big box at the bottom, you go back up and go for a ride, you know?
Well, it would be a fun way to generate electricity.
Yeah,
Just going down the slide all the time.
yeah.
You know, my
That's so-
question is, there's supposed to be stairs that spiral down. Okay. If they were that advanced to build all of that stuff, why didn't they build an elevator?
Well, I see it's a water slide. That's what I think.
Okay. Yeah, something.
A fireman pole. That'll be a lot quicker.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go.
something.
Something.
Yeah,
I don't
dumbwaiter.
know.
Whatever.
Well, it
Yeah.
is really long. It's really like supposed to be what, 2,000 feet or something? Like it's really big. That's a long way to go.
Yeah, like 2 football fields or
Yeah,
something.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. I haven't seen Roger's take on it. I think Roger thinks it's natural, but I'm not sure.
He thinks it's just naturally. I don't know. Naturally
be.
made.
It could be. Could be they just put the pyramid on top of a natural structure, right?
Well, we're known to do that. They'll find something they feel is sacred or something, but let's hide it from everybody. And then they just build a building over it.
Yeah.
Like that church in Mexico. They built on top of a pyramid. Said, no, it's just a
Permission.
mountain. Here's our church right on
Mhm.
top. It's like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That Mormon church in Idaho, that one's freaky. The foundation going down like 30 feet. And it didn't
Really?
even look like the bottom. And there was like 3 levels of doorways under there. And
Oh yeah, just
Well,
ridiculous.
the Mormons are super preppers, so it's hard to tell what that could be.
Could
Yeah.
be.
Oh,
yeah.
they're notorious for, if anything should happen, Utah's going to eat well. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all into that.
Yeah, a lot of the mud flooders point to that one because it's a really good example of weird architecture underground.
Yeah, how did
You
it
know,
get there? Why?
Windows and doors. Why are you putting in windows and doors underground?
Wow.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
that makes no sense.
No,
You know,
obviously.
and there was 3 levels of them. There was a door, a door, a door. You know, it's
Huh.
yeah, and that was all underground. And then there was the door that you actually used, where they were doing the renovations. And it was like 30 feet of doorways underneath it, and windows.
Sounds kind of like a superstition. Got to put windows in, or it
Maybe
won't, or it won't go right.
God won't be
I
able
don't
to get
know.
in here unless you have windows. Well, a
Yeah,
lot of
there you
people think
go.
it was the mud floods, like that.
Oh, I gotcha. Got that
Different
makes
mud.
actually
Yeah,
that
it's
makes
all
more
buried.
sense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That really does. Yeah, and it just mud flooded, and they built on top of it
Yeah.
and found a pocket
Mhm.
of survival.
Mhm. Yeah. Instead of digging the whole thing out, you just build a structure and
Yeah.
a roof on top.
That's what the monks around the world, that's what they did. They found something sacred or special, and they go, "Oh no, it's Catholic now." Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
And
I'd like to
they-
go there too, Desert Rose. That's not really too far, but I doubt they'd let you go like down into the basements. Maybe there's tours now. You never know.
I don't know. Well, like I said, they'd probably use a portion of it for their supplies
Hmm.
because that's Mormons.
Yeah. Well, they got plenty of room in that church. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And I'm sure they found that area and then said, "Oh, we're going to put the building on this. It's ours."
Let's see. Let me show you that. I think it's in Idaho. Images. Yeah, that's it. No, which one is it? It was out. Where was it from? Mormon Church. Let's just look up Mormon Church. Salt Lake City, Utah. There it is. Salt Lake City, Utah. That's the one.
Oh, Utah. Yeah, but that's makes so their big cathedral there.
Yeah.
Underneath, that does not surprise me at all. Utah's trippy. It has, what is that monument? What's it called? Monument Park, where they've got the arched rock, cliffs and rock arch stuff, trippy down south. Yeah, it's melted buildings. Yeah, it's a pocket of survival down there.
Yeah. So this thing had 3 levels underneath it.
Wow, the big building. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
so
gorgeous.
This is obviously from previous civilization. That's not ours. We didn't build that.
Yes, exactly. I think the same thing. And they have the most, elaborate old organ, where you pump air into with the pipes. It's just phenomenal.
Those actually heal your organ.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
the
what those things
vibration.
are.
I had.
That's what it's called, organ. Yeah.
As a
Got
kid,
it.
I had a church that played the actual organ, and it was so much better than when they took it out.
And
Yeah.
especially in a building like this, where you get the frequencies bouncing off the walls.
Yeah,
just
the
right.
resonance is
Resonance, that's it.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're built on top of special grid lines. Okay, so that way you're going to get the energy from that.
Mhm.
And they always have the the thing on the top, as you see there, as projecting out the energy that you conquer there in the congregation, stirring it up. But to be honest, back in the day there were temples, and you would go there for healing.
Right.
Organs was part of it, so it's all in frequency and
Absolutely.
tones and
You can see windows underground right here. Look
Oh
at
yeah,
the-
I do
the
see that.
arches.
Well, I was
Right.
looking at that big window. If you can go back a little bit, there's a huge big window in front. and go up. Oh, you passed it. Right. You can see that. Yeah, that one right there on the far right. Why would they build a window like that? It
Yeah,
looks like it was for bigger people, and they filled it in to make it not so obvious. Anyway, just saying. Mm-hmm.
It is big.
Yeah. Why? Does it? Yeah. No, that's a remodel to go. Well, let's just make it, so you don't pay attention here. Move along, folks.
Yeah.
But it's a huge window. See, yeah, they're on top too. Oops, something broke up there. They got wood.
Yeah, I think we've built on top a few times.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
so, yeah.
And that's that's the layers in the video game. You see,
I
you
see
just
what it
build another level on top of the other existing level.
That's golden. That's why that's up there. It's gold.
Yeah. I think it's the tablet, part of the tablet that Joseph Smith was given to by the angels. That's why they have an angel for their symbol.
Cool.
Yeah.
And they built a building like that for the Mormons in Southern California. It looked just like that one.
Really?
Wow. It was open for a short time.
Huh.
Yeah, it's huge.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to get into the basement of that building.
Yeah, the real basement like we're talking about.
Yeah.
Where all the bodies are buried.
Yeah.
Literally, because there are graves down below.
Well, it's probably been redesigned to an underground bunker. That's what I think.
See if I can find any of the construction. No.
And that's the thing too on these old buildings. They just go, oh, it was built in 1886 to 1889. It took us 3 years, to build this building, and then no more. You don't hear anything.
Yeah, right. now we can't build it in 50 years, but
right.
No.
And there's no pictures of them building it when they had cameras in the late 1800s. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the image where they dug out the foundation. Let's see. Salt Lake City. They may have scrubbed them.
Not surprised.
Oh, is this one? Hold on. Yeah, I think this is kind of one of them. You can see the ground level there, and then underneath what looks like windows, and there's level underneath that we can't see in this one.
This is
and
modern day.
Look at how far down they're going. Like they've got a big hole dug over here on the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
What are they digging a hole over there for?
Yeah.
To help
see, that's
the foundation.
That's a convenient timing. So while they're restoring the outside of this part, they'll just work down there too. Nobody will notice.
Yeah.
They won't notice the big backhoes coming in and going out with dirt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, something.
Gone in plain sight.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, we got to fix this wall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. There we go.
Old. Okay. The ladder looks old. Stone sub foundation.
Yeah. Granite.
Oh yeah. Look at the difference. I mean, yeah. No, this was founded.
You know, that's pretty amazing.
This was a founded thing. Yes. From the top part.
These look like the Cyclopean stone, like they were just put there and they just kind of melded together as a solid thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they started off soft, but melted, put together. Yeah, could have
Mhm.
been put together then melted. I don't know. But yeah, there's
Yeah,
that
brick expands with heat.
really good brickwork, right? So it,
Yeah,
there's no seams in it, or in no gaps or anything. And then above that, we get the stuff with mortar, right? So.
right. Like that's where it stopped.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, exactly. This is a great picture of meltology
Hmm.
showing, the mud flood, however you want to term it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they founded it.
Hmm. Right. We've been lied to about everything, right, Scotty?
It's really frustrating at times.
Yeah. Well.
Please come on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You have
I-
so many people that would never pay attention to this anyway.
yeah.
But the ones that do, come on, give us the truth.
Yeah. Why do
Say
we
it.
have a doorway under there? And windows.
Yeah, yeah, you can see where the top part where with that one window, then that the apertures do, they give it away. Yeah, and below it's all, oh, this was just, underneath some dirt. There we
And
go.
the bricks underneath are much bigger,
Uh-huh.
much bigger.
They expand with
And
heat.
then
Yep.
and then the other ones underneath are good size. They look. They could Some of them could be giant. Who knows? Because
Yeah.
they're so crumbled.
So imagine how tall this building was back in the day.
Yeah. Who knows
They
how?
they were
You
they
know.
were they were like
Huh?
modern
Humongous.
skyscrapers. That's what they
Yeah.
were. They
Yeah.
were the modern
Yeah.
cities, and this is what's left of them. Because anything down in what I call, the poorville, people
Mhm.
with just a single height home, that's all gone. It's so melted and far down there, you'd be hard pressed to find it. But yeah, this stuff sticks out. Hmm.
Because it was so giant. Yeah.
And with giants, yeah, bigger
Oh,
people.
well, they do talk about the giants in the Bible. They talk about it
Yes.
all over the place.
Yep.
There's going to be something there.
And I think periodically in our past, they came across even some living giants, but they killed them. They didn't want people to know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sad. See, humans are just evil that way.
Here's another one. Doesn't show as many of the levels, but yeah.
But it clearly you can see the cutoff. Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Yeah. There's a good one.
Yeah, Desert Rose. My concern at this point is reincarnation. I feel the energy in my thoughts and everything. I think I'm going to go someplace with that. Who knows? But I don't want to. Do I want to come back? I don't know. I don't think so.
Hmm.
That's if I have a fear, that's it. Not fear of death, just coming back.
The fear of having to go through it again.
Yeah, diapers and all. I mean, think about it. Okay.
Can you imagine, we finally go, and the next thing you know, we're coming out of some vagina again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no.
It's our karma. You got to live
Like
in
the
two generations from
potted petunia. Oh no, not again, right?
right. No, think
You
about
know
it.
that one from Monty Python?
No,
Or,
what did he say?
the potted petunia. When they what was it? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. When they engaged the drive for the spaceship, it creates things randomly in the universe, and it created
Oh, that's right.
a
That's right.
sperm whale and a potted plant. The sperm whale said, "Oh, what's this? Oh, I'm alive. There's my I better start naming things. That's my tail, And the potted plant was like, "Oh no, not again."
Yeah. I am the petunia. Yep, there you go.
Are you the petunia or the sperm whale?
But no, it is perfect karma because whatever, like we're talking about civilization as it is, we helped create it, good and bad. So we come back into it and experience what we planted. Yeah, like a seed. And
Yeah,
grows.
like a
I don't know.
video game, long-term
Yes.
video game, right?
Yeah. Open world video game. You die and come back.
Connection lost. Oh, okay. Having poor connection problems.
There
That's
we
what
go.
it is.
It's
Mm.
Restream. I had the same problem. Just things
Mm.
were glitchy a little bit more over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To pay karmic debts and raise our frequency. Yeah. That could be that's always a good goal, right?
Yeah, I think if we figured out there is indeed reincarnation, I think the people's attitudes and behavior would improve. Think about it.
Yeah.
If you don't clean up your room, your next incarnation, you're going to be a maid. Or something, I don't know.
You're going to be a slug, you know?
Yeah. A sloth, so you won't have a room to clean.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe your next lifetime caters itself to your energy, your input, Could do that, right?
Well, according to, and I can't remember who it is now. Was it Dolores Cannon? I can't remember who it was, but basically said that we start off as, the smallest things, and then we come back and we evolve, sort of. And so by the time you get to be a human, you've been through it all.
Yeah.
Very
And so this is
possible.
where we
Yeah.
can get empathy, like, or
Yeah.
whatever, for like animals, because we used to be that at one time.
And people gravitate to things, and
Yeah. So who knows? I mean, this is a video game, maybe that's how many levels it's got,
Yeah.
Now, where did we go from human, though? What's above human?
yeah.
Is this
Have
the
to
last
see.
one then? Or,
You got to play the game right, I guess, to find out.
yeah, maybe we'll just
you
come
know?
back as another human until we get it.
And maybe
Yeah.
it's like ever expanding. You don't know which direction, what you're gonna. There could
Come
be,
back as.
yeah, multi-dimensional worlds beyond this or something, or who knows? Multi-dimensional existences, that could be cool.
Oh, it looks like we got some Europeans coming in here at this hour.
Yeah.
I guess.
Squirrel Sniper,
There you go.
how you doing?
How is Europe? I hear there's all kinds of things going on in the UK too.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
We're watching,
yeah.
because what happens there can happen here, and vice versa.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pushing buttons. Cat is above human. I think so. I think you're right on that.
Well, the cats certainly
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They got it all figured out. Hmm.
Well, yeah, if you can get somebody to take care of you, why not, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Poop in this thing. They come and take your poop out of there. They give you
Yeah.
food.
Clean
Yeah.
your room.
Yeah, quest for ions, questions. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good.
ions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's legal in Nevada to pump positive ions into the casino floors, so
Mhm.
that you're a little bit more zippy
Of
and
course.
competitive, so you'll
Yeah.
gamble more.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then get you liquored up too. Cheaper
That's
liquor.
actually
Yeah.
really good for you.
Actually, if you're on the machines, you get free, or at least when I was in Vegas, you got free drinks
Depends.
if you're at the
Yeah.
machine.
Mm.
Depends where you're at and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decide
Yeah.
to tip the
Yeah,
girl, and
that's
it.
like
And
being
so-
beside a waterfall. That's like getting beside a waterfall with those negative ions. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Don't you feel great when you're just that spray of water coming on you too?
Yeah.
Or just
Yeah.
sitting in the river.
Yeah, we've got
I know
Niagara Falls right down the road from me, so I like going there every once in a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
My brother was born around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in Toronto when he was born. So
Yeah. So he could have visited. He probably visited there too.
Well, I know they were. I got to see pictures of my grandparents at Niagara Falls. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
That's
a
I
great.
was there. I was there when I
great
was 3 then. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great spot. I just love going there and having lunch, dinner, and coming home.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Just watching the falls.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So you can just sit and meditate. Just
Yeah.
zone out right in
Yeah.
the falls there. It's just like in fire, but you can do it with the water too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
They have all the attractions too. Like we like to do. There's a walk beside the water. There's a walkway down in the bottom where there's it's just a deadly, deadly place in the river. But
Mhm.
the water like flies up in the air like 15, 20 feet in big swells. So like the water is loud. It's really interesting, really meditative too, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's really awesome. Yeah.
Cool. You know, when you sit by a creek long enough and then it sounds like the creek is talking to you?
Mm. Or part of you, right?
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
at night when you're laying in your tent, you know, and you're next to a river or something like that. You know, it sounds like it's voices.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, what are you tapping into there?
A little babbling brook, right?
Yeah, the babbling brook thing, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Where I
almost like
live,
water is talking to you.
yeah, where I live, there's 100 waterfalls in my city. Right
Nice.
along, yeah,
Yeah.
right along. There's an escarpment just up here where the land dips. You can kind of see it there along this line, this green line. That's where it is. It's about a 40 to 120-foot drop, depending on where you are. And
Wow.
yeah, there's waterfalls all along here, little tiny
Yeah, yeah.
ones. Yeah, some larger ones, not really big, but yeah, they're all quite tiny and little babbling. They're almost babbling brook waterfalls. They're really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You can see the
And
farmers
this,
using the water too off of that. Yeah.
yeah, and this is the Bruce Trail. So it's a walkway. You can go all the way back and forth along the whole city line.
Oh, yeah. It's like your
They,
park.
they
Yeah,
kept
nice.
this area natural, so you
Yeah.
can see all the greenery and stuff. So there's pathways through there. You can't really see them, but they're there.
Sure.
Yeah, and you can go all the way across the city.
Nice.
Really cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it
That's a
stops.
nice design. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it stops. You can see where people, residents, and then it goes into
yeah,
farmland and
yeah,
the little strip. It's like a really long park
yeah.
Mhm.
going
Continues
through.
along here.
Yeah.
You know, goes up in here. Some places up here gets on the roadways too, but this is more out in the boonies stuff. So
Yeah.
I forget where it goes from here, but yeah, really cool. I'm glad they have that. You know.
Yeah. So you have a river through the city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm near this river here.
Oh, yeah.
This I live across the road from this. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
Bow
Another
Lake
nice.
Valley. Yeah, it's very swampy though, but some
Ah.
parts of it are really nice. Yeah. So yeah, we got quite a bit of greenery around me. I'm
Oh,
lucky
yeah.
for
I'm
that.
sure you do up there.
Yeah,
Green is not a problem there.
yeah. So there's a river that runs through there
Yeah.
down here. Yeah, really nice.
And then and that's on the is that the Hudson? No.
This
Have
is
to
Lake
back out.
Ontario.
Ontario. Okay.
Yeah,
No, this is the
yeah.
Canadian
I got
side. So I guess,
I got
yeah.
Michigan over here on the left and New York on the right.
Hmm.
So
So do you go over there
I'm
lots? Do you go over to New York?
no, I go to Niagara Falls. It's right across from the border.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I tried to once, but it just seemed like a pain in the ass, so I didn't
Oh, okay.
bother. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like, let's
We
just go to New York for some pizza and then come back after,
yeah, we
You
may at
could.
some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with drones nowadays, I would think that, just zip real quick over to some pizza.
Oh, that would be trippy if drones were really in fashion, and then I can order a pizza from Las
Yeah.
Vegas and have it delivered.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
cool, right?
super drones.
Yeah. Would
all
that be
those
cool? That
super
would now,
fast drones.
yeah, flyovers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like
not
they
just
have
my
planes
order.
that
They
can go
can,
4,000, right? 4,000
Yeah.
miles an hour. Like why
Yeah.
oh,
couldn't they
yeah.
deliver you pizza from New York in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about right. 25-minute flight.
There you
yeah,
go.
there you go.
Yeah.
I'm here. Yeah.
There is some good things coming too, with,
I'm thinking. Yep.
oh, for sure
Yeah.
it is. There's
Yeah,
a lot of good
there-
things. It's just that we're just
we-
going to lose our privacy.
why
that's
don't
all.
we have all those great conveniences? Why isn't dinner delivered every day, whatever you want?
That's what I'm
by
saying. Food
Yeah,
security.
I know, right?
by drone,
Yeah.
Like, why
Mhm,
do I want to have to cook in my, come on. Like, if you want to make
Well,
us
don't
like,
worry,
old-
because that's how it's going to be. We're in our
Yeah.
little tiny homes. We're not going to be allowed to cook.
like, make
you
us
know?
dependent, like really make us dependent.
Well,
Come
yeah,
on,
they're gonna.
man.
Just you wait. Just you wait. It's coming.
I don't want to make my own food anymore. Damn it. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
No. And besides, we're going to have a robot that does all that
You know.
cooking, cleaning, all that stuff. Yeah.
I want to order New York steak from New York every night,
Yeah.
Hey, that's
I
only
know, I would
like
like
I'm
some,
only I'm less
Nova
than like
Scotia
a
lobster.
I'm like less than 100 miles away from New York. Like, come on,
That's what
man.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just it could be even a small town. A great pizza joint just outside of town. Said,
Yeah.
drone it over, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's coming. Yeah.
Like, why haven't they gotten rocket fired delivery yet?
Yeah.
They should have been able to do that in the 1800s. Just send a big fucking bomb out of a cannon with your food.
Something,
you know.
Well,
They were pretty good
driverless,
Yeah,
driverless cars,
yeah,
delivering things, and
Oh,
a
we
robot
got
gets
those
out
now.
and brings it to the door.
Yeah.
right?
Well, we got those driverless cars already. Self-driving.
they're working
cars
on it.
where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still kind of
Yeah.
dangerous, but they're working on it.
So now you don't have to pay for a delivery driver anymore. You
Correct.
just
Right.
have this
So no
car.
tipping. I don't have to tip
No
anymore.
tipping. That's right. Yeah.
This is
Uh-oh.
going to be great.
I'm going to be
Oh.
bombarded by dogs in a second here. Sorry. I'm going to mute up.
Yeah, it could be a really good future if they Right, Desert Road Drone Dash, right?
Yeah.
Predator,
Oh, yeah.
Predator.
That's gonna be, well,
Like,
and the
what are
problem
we going to
too
do
is-
with all these Predator drones, right? We can use them for
Drone
delivery.
That is
Yeah. Oh,
good.
yeah. You see, the
Fine.
problem with humanity is that we always take the most convenient route.
And we should,
And, well, but that's where we get into trouble, you see.
Hi, Tony.
Right?
Huh.
This is where we're getting in. So it sounds great, with the Soul CBDC coming in. And so apparently on the 7th, the Real ID is coming into the USA.
Yeah, I have it on my license.
Yep.
Mhm.
So everybody has to have that Real ID now. So I don't know
Yep.
exactly. What is that exactly? The
It's a
Real
chip.
ID.
It's a chip
chip.
that can run, and it instantly tells that district, like a police district or whatever, everything about you. Right up
Okay.
probably to your FBI file over here, whatever
Okay.
I
your
heard it was
ABC is over there.
I thought it was a
Does it
card or
have-
something.
Does it have your medical information in there?
I do not know. They
Okay,
were
but that's
vague.
probably coming. So they're
Mhm.
starting out with this. Okay.
Yeah, the
then the
Department of
next
Motor
thing you
Vehicles
know-
is vague over here. Just take it. You will have the papers. There you go.
Yeah. So this is how it's starting now. So if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to travel. So like if
Right.
you and I, Max,
Fly.
if
Mhm.
we don't
Yeah,
have it,
Real
then
ID
we
is a
can't
set of
travel over.
standards mandated by the Real ID Act of 2005 that states you must adhere to when issuing driver's licenses and identification cards. These standards aim to improve the security and reliability of identification documents, particularly for accessing federal facilities, boarding flights within the U.S.
Mhm. Yeah, you can't go into
enhanced
a federal building.
security
Yep.
norms.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to fly. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things.
Hmm.
And though the post office, it's waffly weird over here, it is still under the federal jurisdiction. So that means I couldn't go into a post office if I don't
Mhm.
But
have
it is still a
technically.
card, right? It's like
it's driver's license
it's
It's
just
a chip,
card.
like she said, in the
Yeah,
card. you
in
know?
my card.
Oh,
in my
yeah,
driver's
you-
license. Yeah.
So
Oh,
this
yeah,
is how it's
yeah.
starting, though, right? And then the
Yep.
next thing you know, all our medical information is going to be in there, including
Mhm,
our
probably
vaccine
is.
status, right?
Yep.
Well, it
Yep.
depends
And so
on which
that's gonna be
level of
another thing,
which levels
right?
of technology they want to unleash on you, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
like they can ID you down to your DigiTwin, but most services like police and that, they have limited access to all the surveillance systems. Like in January 6th, they allowed them the cell phone data. I don't know if they allowed them facial recognition. I think they allowed them some of that, but there are many more levels than that they could have unleashed, but I guess they didn't allow them to, and they don't really want to show you those as well.
No, why would they give us the truth?
Yeah, but all of
It's
this will be linked to your DigiTwin. Like that'll
Uh-huh.
just go right to your digital twin. So yeah, it's all stored in a centralized
You'll have a social score.
person for it. Yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah.
that's the
Mhm.
next thing that's coming, you know. So
Yep,
just look
it
at
is.
China as to where this is going. But yeah, so this Real ID is going to be implemented here on the 7th.
Mhm.
So, you know, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not traveling down to the States for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tony.
You know, I'm not taking any chances. Yeah,
oh,
no.
Tony, that's
It-
ridiculous.
And
but
I've
it's
even
here
heard
too.
that.
It's
So your vaccine status is going to be on there, which you're going to have to need, even if you want to go on public transportation.
Well,
Yep.
everything will be on there.
So if
Everything.
you want to go
Correct.
take the bus, so this is another reason why I'm keeping my car, because I can see where this is going.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not going to be able to take a bus. I'm not going to be able to go anywhere.
Yeah.
yeah, you will get squeezed eventually
Mhm.
into, all I can do is hope and pray that it collapses before it gets there.
Yeah,
That's
me too.
Mm.
but yeah, that's what they're oh yeah. Several states down here have already implemented this years ago.
Mhm.
And in Arizona, it was pretty much you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
get this.
Most
go, okay.
most
What am I
documents
gonna
in
say?
Canada come with a chip in them,
Yeah,
an RF chip. Yeah.
yeah. This
Well, I'm
one
not
though,
sure-
I don't know. It connects to something, and they can find out.
Yeah.
Your blood type if they want.
Yeah. All they need is a sensor and an
Mhm.
ID number for the sensor. And there you go.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yep.
Yep. This
Well,
one.
the most reliable ID here that I use, anyways, is my driver's license.
Right.
Mhm.
Here
And
too.
then on the back of it, we got our medical number.
Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't. Yeah,
So
I
it's
don't
like
think
2
we
in
did.
1 sort of. And I'm actually right in the process here to be renewing mine. So it'll be interesting to see what's new, from 5 years ago, to see if there is anything like this happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is troubling.
Yeah.
It is
It's not
We're
just-
being tagged and traced constantly.
Yeah, and it's just in
Yeah.
our face now. Just accept it. It's also training.
And every
us that
time you
this is
walk through,
normal.
like those
Mhm.
sensors in stores that detect chips in
Mhm.
products,
Yeah.
that'll detect your chip as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
you've
they'll
seen
be-
those commercials.
They'll know
with,
who you are. They can
yeah,
take that
see what
data
your-
and say this and sell it.
Yeah, and see
Yeah.
what your criminal record is. Are you a shoplifter?
But not
'Cause you
just
sell.
that,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
you've seen the commercials where the people just put all their stuff inside their shirt and whatever, just walk out.
Yeah.
Well, they
Oh,
don't
it's
have
terrible.
to go through a scanner thing, because as soon as you go through, you'll be
Right.
The
scanned
doors.
and
Yes.
and
Yes.
charged, right, for the groceries that
Mhm.
you took. So there's
That's
no,
right.
you don't need the clerks anymore. You don't need cashiers. You don't need any of that.
Yeah. Go
It's
ahead
all
and
just
steal it because we're
robots.
going to charge you the second you run out the door.
Yeah, you can't steal it. That's
Sorry.
right. So there's no
That's
more
right.
crime. You know.
Oh my God,
Crime
that will
will be
certainly
gone.
change things.
Yeah. Eventually, they're
They'll
going to
know who
start.
you are, what you're doing. Yeah.
Imagine this, though. You're going to start paying for things you didn't buy.
Yeah, there's always going to be those.
Oh,
Well, there's going to
you
be some courts.
no, you
Yeah.
really bought 4 of those. No, I only bought 3. No, you really bought 4. Oh.
Yeah, that can.
And
that
who are
can
you going to
happen.
argue with? The
That's
machine
right.
knows.
No, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always the good and bad, double-edged sword world here we're in.
Where's the chip?
Well,
in
no,
your
again, they're
driving
going to
license? Like a
sell this
credit
to
card.
us. We're going to want this, you see, because it's all
Yes. Oh, of
inconvenience,
course.
right? But also, we're not seeing all the jobs that are again being lost.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of different agendas that are happening here.
Yeah, they
there's
want
a,
less
there's
of
a chip
us.
There's a chip in my passport too. They put
Is
a chip
there?
Oh yeah,
in
oh
my-
yeah, oh yeah. That happened long. I mean,
Yeah.
the minute they rolled out Windows,
Yeah.
the passports all had something in them.
I'm not sure in Canada here if we have a chip in our driver's license. I guess I'll find out because I'm just about to.
Well, you'd have to
renew
tear it.
mine.
You'd have to tear it apart to find out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got a bar strip that you. So when I go to the hospital, I just got to scan it through this thing, and they'll know who I am,
Yeah, they
or
do.
whatever.
Mhm.
So it's not quite a chip.
A
It's
chip-
just a
A
strip.
chip really is just like a fractalized antenna. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
It's just a
I would
fractal
almost
antenna.
assume that it will be a different.
it's like a VR
technology.
code.
That's what
You know, it's not much, but
No.
yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, pretty soon
Hi,
they'll just
Pamela.
put the chip right in your hand, right? That's where, this is where the conspiracy has been all along, right?
Well, they can do it with a tattoo now. Just a
Well, so if you're
metallic
going to go
tattoo.
with the Bible, which is basically their programming book, where they tell you what's going to happen, right? Either in the forehead or on your hand, then yeah, it would either be a chip or a little tattoo, a little barcode of some sort. Yeah, that you use your hand or your forehead to scan when you walk through it. That's exactly.
Yeah, you
what-
could have a tattoo on your forehead or your hand,
Yeah,
anywhere.
it's invisible, so you don't
Yeah.
see it, but you
Well,
can.
They have
sheep-
them visible now. You can- like
Yeah.
people like
Yeah.
this. This is an up. People want
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Well, this
you know?
way you don't need to bring your driver's
Yeah.
license no more,
Or
passport.
QR code. You put
Or
a QR
your,
code on
you
your
know,
on your hand.
Yeah, ATM card or any of that
Yeah.
because there's no cash, right?
Yeah.
There's
Correct.
Yeah.
And they'll sell it like, oh, you left your wallet
It's-
at home?
yeah,
No
that's
problem.
right.
It's
Yeah.
already in you.
Yeah.
Yes, no need for any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So that's what
Mm.
I'm saying. So we're getting sold into it because it's convenient, because we're
Mhm.
lazy. They give us
Or-
the lazy way out, and we take it every time.
Yeah, sometimes though we are a little coerced. They'll push it like this is just the way it is. People
Well, it's going to
roll
happen
with
whether
it.
you want it or not, but they're going
Right.
to make it look like it's all
Right.
the commercials on
So-
TV, and it's all
Well,
going to
you
look
want
great.
it. You want it. It's
So you're gonna want it,
manufactured
yeah.
consent. It's called
Yeah.
That's what they did with our elections. It was manufactured consent. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Absolutely.
Well, look at what was happening with Canada Post here now. Things like this is
Yeah.
going to be happening in the
I know, I
system.
know.
Like your bank machines are not going to be working.
Yeah.
I do believe that was actually an issue here in North America a little while ago, not long ago. See, it happens in small pockets, and we forget that it
Ooh.
is happening all over the place, just not all at the same time. And we forget, if it's not you,
Gotcha
you don't
there,
even
Tony.
you
Yeah.
forget. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it wasn't that long ago. So this is actually happening. It's not something that's coming. It's happening right now.
So
it
there's
has
what
for
you
a
can.
while. Yes.
So
And
if
they're
you put a
doing
light
this-
to the back of your card, you might be able to see through it and see if
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a chip.
Well, I know here they just don't create the license when you go in there right at that moment. Like they used to just take your picture and laminate it. You have to wait 2 weeks for them to process it and mail it to you here.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
what are they processing? Oh,
Yeah, so they're doing
Hmm.
all of these things to piss us off, to
That's it.
to see how weak the system is and how much better this new system would work. You see,
yeah.
right? This is what they're doing,
Well,
right?
Yeah,
So all
yeah.
these people at the post office right now, that's one of them, because the post office will be gone too. It'll just be drones delivering shit. We're not going to need the post office. It's
Well, that
obsolete.
might be an improvement
Yeah.
comparing what
Well,
I deal
yeah.
with now.
Yeah, it's an old system.
Yeah, I think AI might handle that one way better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
we get
already
a
too
lot of
many
things
delivery
messed up.
services now that's working and it's cheaper than even our Canada Post. So yeah, I think their days are numbered. I hate to say it, but yeah, it's death throes, death
Mhm.
cries. Just before they keel
Yeah,
over.
they start kicking and
Yes.
screaming just before
Yeah,
they go away.
That's what's
Yeah.
happening right now.
Mm.
The system, the people. Isn't it funny how mine went through though?
Hey,
But all the
there's
other
15
people
people and no likes. Hit that like button, guys.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you. There were 19 people and no likes at one time.
It's funny. It's my video, same thing.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
You got to tell them and remind
too much
them, I
trouble.
guess.
Oh yeah, I do. I tell
Yeah.
them to. They still don't.
Really?
So,
Yeah. I do every time I'm there. I always
Oh,
hit the
thank
like
you.
button.
Usually, all the YouTubers will because they know that it
Yeah.
makes a difference. But
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
else,
I do. I hit the buttons
Yeah.
when I go in there. Yeah, of course. Because we're just little guys. Got to help each other
well, that's
out.
the thing, right? Got to get through that algorithm.
Yeah. But how,
Yeah.
how easy is that going to be? You can never lose your keys. You can never lose your wallet. you
No, I know it's going to be so convenient.
Yeah.
We're going to want that shit. Yeah.
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 You know?
Oh yeah. Yes.
I already
You
have a
won't-
face. Like I'm already ID'd. Like what's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
difference?
You won't
Yeah.
have to own a car. It's just
17? Okay.
you'll just jump into a car and put your ID in it, and it automatically charges you for everything for the use of that car.
Yeah, we just rent everything. Remember
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Klaus Schwab said, we'll own nothing,
Nothing.
See,
but
it's
we'll
interesting.
like it. So we're going to rent everything. So you need a dress for the weekend. You go into the fancy thing, you rent a dress, and then you bring it back. You see,
Yeah.
which in hindsight, it's like it is a waste because women will buy a dress, wear it once, and it sits in that closet for the next 20 years.
Yep. Yep.
Why not
It is
rotate
true.
that dress around? Let that dress be used. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, because we're never
Well,
going to use it.
it could open up a huge cleaning industry.
Well, I'm
Well-
just saying, it just there's a lot of waste that we're doing.
is.
Dealing with the whole entitlement and all of this.
I
So we
and I-
need to switch up a little bit.
yeah, and I do believe in bridal stores where you rent the bride's,
Yeah.
dress and the bridesmaids. Because
Well,
I
that
was
would
a
be nice.
bridesmaid and
That
I had
costs
to
a lot of
buy these.
money.
Yeah,
Yes.
I had to buy this dress I would wear once because it was
I
her
know.
taste, not mine. It was her
I know.
show.
I've seen my
right?
daughter-in-law's gone through so many weddings, and every
Yeah.
time they're expected to buy a new dress.
Yes. Yeah, that's the
and so
bridesmaid's
much
duty.
things.
You help
my
the bride.
God.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
refresh.
ridiculous, and you can never wear that again. Yeah, again, so
Not
I
really, not
I kind of see that the whole renting everything when you need it. Same with tools, guys. Hey, you buy this expensive tool. How many times do you really use it?
Yeah, but you
Right.
like to have those around.
So we can pick on the
Yeah.
guys too. So you need that one tool for that one project. You rent it. You have it,
Yeah.
and you bring it back. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That
don't
is big
need
business.
a garage
That is a
with
big
everything
business
in it.
already. Yeah.
See, I know the guys don't like this part of it, right? So,
Yeah.
we all could kind of, you know what I mean?
I don't know. Tools are kind of personal.
Yeah, but the dresses are okay though, right? The dresses.
Yep. That's the way it works. That is the way it works.
I've seen it.
I am
Rent a
totally
dress.
down with that. I
Yeah.
see
And the
no.
women are cringing when I
I
mention the
see
dress. 'Cause they
absolutely
can't even.
no contradiction in that at all.
Yeah, I
No.
know. Nobody wants to use something that's been used before. We always want to be.
Yeah,
That's where the whole
kinda.
virgin thing is so
Yeah.
important, right? Nobody wants something that's already been used,
Mhm.
So but again, it just it's just not economically feasible. So
Yeah.
so it would definitely be a lot less carbon, and all of that. So I can see that
Mm.
being a good thing.
Yeah, but it's got its gross factor,
It does, but
and yeah. I don't know.
yeah,
It's like, would you like they have them here in my city. They're called these commune autos where you can rent a vehicle that's just sitting in a lot, right? You
Mhm.
just go up and it's got a QR code and you log in with your
Yeah.
phone and you pay it.
Yeah.
But you have no idea who's been in there before you, what they
I
did
know.
in there,
well, hopefully some sort of self-cleaning,
Well,
that
there is no self-cleaning device for this.
I don't know. Maybe there is.
Do
in the
they come
future.
around every day and clean it? Like
Or you just before you go in there,
you
you
know.
spray some shit in there, and
Oh
you
yeah,
wait a
that's
second and then
great.
go in.
That'll
don't know.
cover up people's bodily fluids, right? Like
Or you'll
no.
have disposable paper
like
things
I
on
don't
the
you don't know what
seats.
people do in there.
Yeah, you don't want to know what people are doing in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Like I'm renting a car so I can go and rent a prostitute.
but I mean, a
you know?
cab is no difference. You go into a cab. You think that cab driver's disinfecting the back seat every time?
Hell
No. The only time you'll do it is if there's any bodily fluids. You'll clean that up. But other than that, you're sitting
Yeah,
on
but
whatever.
that people
Same with
aren't.
limousines.
Yeah, but people
Limousines,
don't
same thing.
eat. People don't really spill as much on. Like it's visible if somebody spills something on a bus, right?
Yeah.
It's
And the bus, same thing.
and
You're touching the
nobody's going
handrails,
to take their
touching everything.
pants off. Nobody's taking their pants off.
Well, I don't know how many times do you go on the bus? There's all kinds of
Well,
things going on there.
yeah,
Oh,
the
God, homeless
occasional
people,
time, but
I remember this one time, middle of summer, and I had my aunt was visiting. We're on the bus for some reason. This homeless guy comes on who has shit his pants. And this is in the summer. Yeah, this is the most disgusting thing ever. Okay. This is Vancouver for you. So yeah, it's disgusting. You
Yeah.
know, any never mind all the thugs and vaping
Hi,
drugs right in
JT.
front of you, or like, yeah, it's nasty. So so poor people, we've lived
Yeah,
like
so
that.
you rent this good looking vehicle, right? You don't
Uh-huh.
know, and you get in there and you have no idea if Mr. Poopy Pants has been in there. You know?
Well, but
Hi,
hopefully
Jeeps.
though that there's some robot that will clean the cars in between. There's got to be some kind of system that they come up
Well,
with.
so far they're I don't see a robot system.
Mr. Poopy Pants probably would never rent a car anyways. You know what I mean?
You don't know that.
Probably not. He's probably not able to drive. Like, you got to be able to prove that you're, not just capable, but
Okay.
there's got to be some like, you probably, and this is where our privacy is completely gone. Because of course you'll have to take a breath test before you go in there. They'll probably
Well,
know your
yeah,
alcohol
well,
blood
yeah.
level, everything. They're not going to let you just drive if you're not, able to.
Well, that's
So,
where AI could come in real handy because they would know. AI really at this point
they'll
knows
know.
they know if you pooped your pants.
Right.
You
They'll
know?
know if you're drunk. They'll know if you are
Yep,
not
because they
capable
can
of
measure your
driving.
blood, they can measure pretty much everything in your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
and even
I
if you're
have
sick,
to-
they probably wouldn't even allow you in there if you're sick,
Mm.
but I have to say, in my travels, Vancouver, BC had the cleanest cabs I was in.
Okay. That's
Just
cool.
saying. Anyway,
Cool.
sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't encountered anything too gross in the cab, but I mean, if I had a black light,
I have.
Yeah, I mean, if you happen to come in and somebody just puked or whatever, it's
Hi, beloved. Yeah, I used to drive a cab for years.
well, there you go. You must have seen it all then.
I have seen it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Stinky cabs, nice cabs,
Mhm, mhm.
they're all out there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the drivers are stinky. Some of the cabs are stinky.
Yeah. Personalities are weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That
Cabbies
too.
can be interesting. Yeah.
But it's funny because, and I've noticed this around here now, like, wherever whether it's cab drivers or restaurant workers, they're all brown.
Oh,
Why is that?
that's because of subsidies in Canada. Most of the Tim Hortons workers now, the
Is that what it
majority
is?
of them are
Where's all the white
Indian.
people? Do white people not work anymore? Like, where is everybody?
What they've actually, like in the Tim Hortons near where I work, they started cutting people's hours and they just hired more people, right? So they have more people but less hours for
Ownership.
everybody.
Right.
And the more people they hired are subsidized with 25% of their wages by the government.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seemed a little weird,
So it's much better to slide your people out and get new people in,
Hmm.
So that's what's happening there. That leads back to the whole Chinese India conflict that's going on now too, because Canada is controlled by China in a lot of ways, and we're importing Asian, like Indian people from India.
Mhm.
So there could be a real clash in Canada.
It's not a country. It's up for grabs.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the thing. Like,
Oh
that-
yeah, maybe India is going to make a
Yeah,
stab
think
for
about
it,
this.
right?
Slice it up.
Or China,
Mhm.
like India. Like I guess it's happening
Well, they've
everywhere.
taken over. I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm in what used to be a white community.
Mhm.
It's kind of funny how how people pocket into areas.
Yeah.
According to their race and whatever.
Yep.
And where I'm at, it was where the majority of the white people were. And now, like at all the jobs, everybody's brown. There's not a white person around anywhere.
We're just China Indians now.
And even in the food court,
we're-
we only have two little malls here. The one food court,
Yeah.
all their food in there now, it's all Indian and like ethnic kind
Yeah.
of stuff. There's no more
Yeah.
A&W's out of there. It's just Indian food and whatever. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, we're being taken over.
Yeah.
I can feel it. I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
Wow.
might,
Holy
you
shit.
know, moving to the U.S. might be an option, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Well,
or Russia. Russia still has an offer that we can escape our leftist hell by
Mm.
going to Russia.
well, it's a communist Russia. Yeah.
Well, have you ever thought about moving up to the northern territories where there's no, just kind of, take over something up there and start anew?
You have to be able to hunt. and
It's a
fish.
tough life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
tough.
really, it's
tough
that
up
rugged
there.
out. Nothing's
It's
there.
real tough.
Especially
Yeah.
at our age,
Yeah,
there's
maybe if
nothing
you're in
up
your
there.
20s and you can start all over again,
You'd have to like clear land for crops.
it's a lot of hard work.
There's no land that's clear, right? You'd have to clear
Interesting.
land, a lot of rocks, a lot of trees.
So do you, I mean, okay, maybe you don't believe in Sasquatch, Bigfoot, but if there was one, would that not be the perfect place? Because no one wants to really start something there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's so rugged.
course.
Yeah. And if a
Interesting.
humanoid that could move really fast and be really
Yeah,
strong
rugged.
would
Yeah.
have an easy time up there, because there is a lot of animal food, but you have to be able to get it,
Yeah.
If you could move a lot faster than a human, yeah, you could
I
really
believe
do
those
well.
things. I believe those things live underground. That's
Hmm.
why we don't find a lot of evidence. I think
Yeah,
they
the cave-like
bring it
idea.
Hi,
under.
Inaccessible. Good to see
Yeah,
you.
they bring
Thanks
it
for
under,
dropping
so
by.
you don't see carcasses. You don't, and humans just disappear. Yeah, usually in the forest, right? And I think these things, they take it underground.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't see their huts, you don't find their tools, you don't nothing at
No.
all. You might, some people have claimed they might have seen it, but that's it. You don't see anything else of it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's smart. You're not
so-
leaving a trail.
Yeah, no trails. Everything you bring it
Yeah.
underground.
That's just instinct of survival.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense to me, that there are other types that I think split off with the last mud flood.
Mm.
We went this direction on
Yeah.
top of the surface, and they went another direction. And
Yeah, I think they're probably part what we are. So there
somewhat.
were some kind of hominoids here that we were bred with, the Anunnaki,
Yes.
if we're going to go with that. So these may be the original hominoids, maybe, that we were
Yeah.
cloned with, or
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, very well
last
could.
part of
Yeah,
them. Yeah,
something like
and
that.
from
But
what
anyway,
I've heard, from what I understand, from what I've heard, because some people that I know have actually encountered them, and they have super abilities.
Yeah, they seem to be able to like shapeshift right into.
Yeah, they can just cloak themselves, so they're
Yeah.
there 1 second, then boom, they're gone. Like they
Yeah.
can cloak themselves.
Yeah.
They also have some telepathy thing going on. You can hear, they can talk, like through telepathy, and all of these abilities that I think that we've been longing for. I think this is where it's from, and so very
which
interesting.
could be a really good survival tool if you are indeed living underground.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to. Voices may not travel, thoughts go further.
Yeah, you don't need to talk out loud. It's all
right.
The ultimate hunting species would not want to talk. You'd want to communicate through the mind.
They just created different things for survival.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be great if you could hide anywhere, everywhere, and never have to make a sound.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. Be able to blend into anywhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think they're technologically advanced too, so it could just be.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
There's no reason that a hairy humanoid couldn't,
create things.
Create things.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
We think that they look animalistic, but that might not be the brain capacity. Have anything to do with brain capacity.
Well, with us, they only fuse together 2 out of the 12 strand thingies that we have. And so if we had all of them fused together, we would have our abilities back. But they dumbed us down. They just wanted us smart enough, to operate machinery, but not to ask why,
Yeah. Pretty much.
So,
It's the military right there.
On a need to know basis here. So, Can you imagine, if we got all our abilities back and
Oh, that'd be great.
oh my God.
I think
yeah.
if they stopped doing all this shit around us that we probably wouldn't, that might be a lot of the reason for having that shit.
Well, they're
around us.
trying. Well, we're wakening up, and there's nothing they
Yeah.
can do about that.
Why
Well-
are
And
they
so,
blocking it?
so they're trying to make it so that we forget, or
Yeah.
we get distracted.
See,
or,
what they did is they're disconnecting us with each other. Like
yes.
they've lowered our
Like we
field
talked
down
about
to
that.
1 centimeter above the body,
Mhm.
and they're still on the attack of the pineal constantly. You know, I won't talk too much about that, but
Mhm.
you know, fluoride and all the other things they try, and you
Mhm.
know, yeah, but yeah, they're really restricting us. Like, if we were released, like how much communication would we have with each other? Like, did people in the 1800s actually like really sense or feel each other's emotions much more than we did? You
Mhm.
know,
I
did
think
they
so.
have better, intercommunication because of that?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think they did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that what they've done is like limited us so greatly, you know,
Mhm.
and even over like you had generations with that, with generational damage to the DNA and RNA and all that.
Mhm.
Like, they've really taken us down possibly to a really low state, you know.
Yeah, they have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
they
with the
did.
fluoride in the water. I mean, even they did that, in the mid 40s there.
Yeah.
That's what he used to do to control the prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know,
so yeah,
so
we're still doing that.
if they stopped all this, or we used technology, because there's available technologies that don't damage, they can do the same things. But if they use those technologies, it would only take like 140 days for us to find out, maybe even a year, to find out what our bodies are actually like, at
Mhm.
least a little bit more, without all this damaging shit happening. You guys are having fluoride taken out of a lot of your water, which is good down in the US there, G. So,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. It depends where you live. Here, they do not put it in,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of places they still do, and people believe it.
Mhm.
Because as soon as they take it out, you'll see in the news, oh, there's an uptick in childhood cavities or something. Yeah, they'll really, panikins. That's our new
Yeah.
word down here. That they want you all in a panic, so they're panikins, stirring
Yeah.
it up. Yep.
Yeah, I've noticed this too. This is an interesting one. Since I started grounding with the artificial devices and such, I don't get as much plaque buildup, which is interesting. Just a side note about teeth.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I remotely understand their views. Okay. Yeah, are you connecting with the Sasquatch there, Mr. Mission? Yeah, I'd love to live the life of a Sasquatch for a bit.
Hey,
That'll
I'm
be
gonna
one.
take a quick bathroom break if you
All
don't
right.
mind, just real quick.
Alrighty. Yeah, the technology could be interesting, like, and troubling, right? They're talking about in the future of, giving you 20 years of prison time through your mind instead of you actually having prison time. So what
Oh.
they record the brain waves of like the people in the crime that you hurt,
When you have to relive it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they
Yeah,
put
that's
you in
Black Mirror.
virtual jail, so you live the life of a criminal in jail, with all the troubles that go along with that for 20 years or whatever,
Yeah, you're kind of in free fall with everybody else stuck in the virtual of whatever. Could happen.
Oh, thank you, Pamela Jean. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I don't know. I like being non-monetized,
Yeah. I
Kind of
like
makes
it too.
me feel more like what I'm doing is for you guys. I don't know if I could ever make a living at it, so you
It's
know,
pennies. Well, I mean,
yeah,
donations are a different thing, but yeah, like doing commercials and stuff, it's like, really? I get a half penny a month or something. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but it's not much, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And people get hassled as they're coming into your show with they gotta
yeah,
wait so they can skip the commercial.
yeah. There are people that do make money off of it, but they have. I saw one guy. He said he made $1,500 in a in one show, but
Hmm.
this was with where you paid for things. Like you could have people kicked off the panel. You could have, uh, you could do things to other people with your money. So
Okay.
you could have people banned from chat for, you know, 5 minutes, or, have one of the panelists banned for 5 minutes, things like
That
that.
sounds like a TV reality show,
Yeah, kinda.
kind
Yeah,
of. I get
yeah.
it. Okay. Um,
So apparently
hmm,
somebody's made really good. Some people have made really good money doing that.
sure. No, I'm
They
sure
donate
big channels do
for
make
Max.
something. I'm
Yeah,
sure they do. And they sell
yeah,
products inside the show as well.
yeah.
Um,
You know,
but
do
yeah.
I don't know. Do I start charging for remote viewing or charge for the answer and for the responses? You know, I could do that, right? If you want to type in a response that I'll read, you have to pay me $1 or something. You know, so that'd be a pain in the ass, right? You'd
Yeah.
because you'd have to go through PayPal every time, or that whole because
Yeah, that whole thing.
yeah, and then
And
put in
that,
your response, and
yeah.
then
And is that safe? Do you really, I don't know if that's a safe money transfer, is it? I don't know.
I don't know. Oh,
Because they
Max,
always seem to break into things like YouTube and get all your information.
right? Yeah. Yeah, Max has a good life now and probably had a good life before, I hope. How many bugs can you get for a half penny? I don't want to eat bugs. You live on a disability check? Yeah.
Yeah. In my parents' heyday, you could buy like 3 or 4 pieces of candy at the store for a penny. You know, that's how they
Mm,
dole it out. Uh-huh.
you don't have PayPal? Yeah, $1 for each comment you make. That's that I'll read, right? How about this Ashton Forbes guy? I don't know who that is. Ashton Forbes.
Yeah. Uh, what is that?
What is that?
We'll probably get it the minute he says, oh, blah, 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 like WEF, or is this person, I don't know, a really
Ashton
rich guy? Is he
Forbes.
one of those rich guys?
I don't know.
He has a rich name, Forbes.
Latest posts from Ashton Forbes.
Oh, time traveler. I never heard of this guy.
Okay. Why aren't there tiny black holes everywhere? 3 orbits in formation, December, Pacific of California. Is it a coincidence that gravity uses the same mathematical formulations as electrostatics? Well, yeah, that is interesting. And funny.
Yeah.
The Plane Portal with Ashton Forbes by Blurry Creatures. It sounds like an album. You know?
Yeah,
The Plane Portal with Ashton Forbes by Blurry Creatures. I love
it
that.
does. You know, probably has that like acoustic guitar kind of sound, you know, really low key.
Yeah.
Ashton. Not a bad name.
Sort of a blues jazzy thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Something, yeah, low key, whatever it is.
Ashton Forbes.
Okay. He's related to an airplane.
Hmm.
I don't
I
know.
don't know what he's referring to here.
Physics, engineering.
Yeah,
Okay.
investigator.
He time traveled.
He's a time traveler? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I can't play YouTube videos, Mr. Mission. I get struck every time, pretty much, unless it's by somebody, unless that's your video.
yeah. And Restream does a fine job of making them jerky.
Mm-hmm.
I tried playing some videos and they just didn't come out right.
Nope, that's the alien scientist. UFOs, how CIA are derailing congressional investigations. Well, of course, because the investigations into UFOs would lead back to the government. So they don't want that.
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah.
Or something else that we don't
Yeah.
know about.
Yep.
And they don't want you to know about that.
Inner
they know about.
Earthers, others, breakaway civilizations, people on the moon, could be aliens, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Osaka says, yeah, there were orbs apparently circling 370 and then it disappeared.
Oh.
Like a time travel, time wormhole thing.
Orbs are those orbs over the East Coast were communication. That was the government using communication systems.
Yeah, very probable. And
it definitely was. Definitely.
And it trains us to think that's normal. That's how they do it. They just
those things may actually be conscious, which is interesting. Like
a thoughts.
Yeah, a plasma AI kind of.
Yeah.
So those are government created. So, you know how they come out of they used to come out of like Cheyenne Mountain and all that. That's because they create them under there and they send them out.
Or recreate, reverse engineering, they.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the tech we have is from people on Jupiter.
No, I think it's just people from the past.
Could be, yeah.
That past civilization, they had some tech.
Yeah, they had some tech too.
And they
imagine they would try to gather from all sources, though.
Yeah. They learned fast that, hey, I'll hide this until somebody who has the brains to know what it is and how to work it comes along, and then we'll use it as a weapon.
Yeah, like the U.S., they say they went and stole a Vimana from the Middle East, right, during the Gulf War. They went there to steal a Stargate and a Vimana. That was the whole Gulf War incident. So they could get in there and get the goodies. Because Saddam Hussein had found the goodies. And
they robbed the museums and all of that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. There was alternative reasoning going in there. Pillage and overthrow someone's lands.
Yep. And also he tried to make his own money too. So that's an extra no-no.
Oh, that's an extra
no-no. He was definitely going outside the system.
That's right. Yep. No, don't do that. Do not get uppity. No, that was perfect, and it worked.
Making your own money, how rude,
Yeah, and the whole ice rack thing, it worked. They got what they wanted, apparently.
Yeah, and that wasn't the Gulf War where they went into the Kuwaiti War. Sorry, the Kuwaiti War. That was where I think they tested their energy weapons on those tanks during the tank battles, seeing if they could penetrate tank material.
Right. Enough damage to stop it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because remember, these guys, they just got out of their tanks and ran. Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
That's what happened.
Maybe some high frequency that drove them nuts and they had to run away from it.
Heat, frequency, who knows? Right?
Yeah.
But they just got out of there and ran. And apparently they were saying that it got hot or something.
Oh, that too. Yeah. A little microwave on top of it. We're going to microwave you out.
Right. You could use all kinds of acoustics, ELFs, high frequency. You could, use energy weapons. Yeah, they could have bombarded them, just to, because tank material would be hard to get through. You know, you got
Yeah,
that
it's
thick
supposed to.
metal, right?
Right, it's supposed to be hard to get through. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I think they were trying to see if they could penetrate that type of armor,
And it
you know,
worked.
and it worked. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not surprised now. Yeah, they don't want a ground war because of all of this stuff, because it just would be devastating.
Yeah.
You know, now it's tariff wars and
Hmm.
stock market wars and word wars, and I don't know. We might go to a real war. We might.
Maybe. Yeah. They're trying to push for war. They want limited war. They don't want like an ultimate war. They want a sustained war. Like the projection was a 20-year
No,
war with
it's
Russia.
ridiculous. Stop
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
They want low-level skirmishes so they can just, off people slowly and,
Take
escalate
over.
it when they want to keep the threat level at whatever level they deem necessary, right?
Police with a stick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Iran is the last country that the Bushes had on their list, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So that has to happen.
Yeah, they've taken parts of it, but they haven't taken all of it.
So that's probably the next war that's coming. From the sounds of it,
Yeah.
Trump's
Yeah.
calling it.
Yeah, Israel.
Well, yeah, he's Israel first. Trump is, yeah.
Yep, that's why. Whether it's true or not, that's the reason.
Mhm.
Again, make us feel all warm and fuzzy because we're helping someone while
Right.
we annihilate another.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know how well they're going to push that, but that's got part of the Greater Israel project involved in it too. So, and I was discussing last night, I could see Jerusalem becoming a autonomous city like the Square Mile in Britain or the Vatican or Washington. I foresee them doing that as well because they moved
Yeah.
the consulate to Jerusalem, right? So, and that was the city the Rockefellers bought first. The Rothschilds. Sorry.
Yeah, do they still own Belgium? I just wonder.
I don't know.
I think they do. I think a lot comes out, isn't it Belgium with a handshake to Switzerland? That's who really runs Europe.
Mm.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they bought up a lot of land, So.
They're pirates. They're land grabbers.
Yeah.
Buy it or we'll burn you out.
Yeah. Yeah, now they've got weather weapons, so yeah.
Mhm.
They're
Mhm.
doing really good on that. So, and arsonists. It's almost arson season in Canada. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, of 700 fires during the Ring of Fire a couple of years ago, there's 500 of them were set by people, and the other couple hundred were probably just offshoots of the fires set by people.
Mhm.
Wow.
So yeah, because we used to do controlled burns all across Canada, but for some reason we've slacked a lot. Yeah.
California-fied.
Yep, exactly. So all we need is BlackRock to take over our utilities, and they'll just cut back on. They'll just stop trimming stuff around the power lines, and
no water in the hydrants.
Yep.
Right.
There you go.
Yep. Wonder if we're going to have a hot summer, right?
Isn't there a song? Hot summer in the city.
Yeah, well, they had such a heat wave over in the UK. It was 25 degrees, and apparently those row houses were just bursting into flames.
25.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like 70 to 80 guys for you in the US.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
That's a yeah.
It's not hot at all. Yeah. Yeah, when they had actually articles about that in the UK, how their row houses were bursting into flames because of the heat waves of 25, degrees. It's like, oh my God. to the rest of the world, that could seem scary. I don't know, but you know,
Yeah, not here.
Yes, if you
That's
don't
pleasant.
know the Celsius, yeah.
yeah,
then
That's
probably-
pleasant.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a
Oh,
pleasant
that's a
temperature.
beautiful day, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, same with the blackout too. With Europe just recently here now, they were blaming it on some atmospheric something rather, and
Yeah.
something
mhm.
about being too hot. And then you go and look at the weather forecast. It's not too hot over there at this time of the
No.
year. It's like 20,
Yeah.
you know, whatever, like
now
pleasant
apparently
temperature.
they had just turned all of their energy in Spain over to renewable wind and solar.
Oh,
Good luck.
Mm.
so they decided just to flick the switch on you, then bastards.
Well,
Mhm.
it's a very unreliable energy because it goes up and down in frequency all the time.
Yeah, brownout's worse
So
than a
you
blackout.
constantly have to adjust for that. And unless you
Mm.
have an external system that can take over for that, you know, like you're using two systems that fluctuate like crazy, and
Yeah.
you're trying to get a stable voltage,
Mhm.
and you know you have to try to mediate that out somehow.
It costs
and
more than just
it-
running power.
Yeah, and you waste a lot of energy doing
Yeah,
that. For
burn, you have to
one.
burn some of it off, and you have to compensate for the slack. And yeah, and then everybody's going to have these surge protectors on the side of their houses
Yeah,
to compensate and regulate.
yeah,
That's a drag.
yeah. So you know, it's such an unreliable energy. Yeah, it's senseless to try and use it. You know, let's go back
Yeah.
to fossil fuels and grow some trees.
Yeah.
You know, I think we need more methane. Methane's a good protective gas for the upper atmosphere. That helps
Yeah.
protect us from sunlight, some of the bad sunlight, and they want to get rid of it. That's ridiculous. Methane is so light, it does not hang around you. It's not doing anything to the trees, the grass, nothing. It's just going up into the way upper atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Gases, yeah.
Well, it's such a light gas. Yeah.
And the plants like it.
Yeah. Yeah. CO2 is a heavier gas and the plants like it. Yeah. You know, the nature balances itself out, you know?
It does. There's a great exchange here. Don't fix it.
Yeah. Stop fucking with it. First of all, right? You know, they're constantly messing with it, but they have to have their weather wars.
Or something that
Yeah.
play with us down here.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think it's dinner time for me. I'm going to cut it off, guys. I've been on for
All right.
2.5. I much appreciated coming up. Thank you very much for the conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for having me on. Hopefully, I'll see you guys tonight over on the Milky.
Yeah. Have a great
Peace.
night. We'll see you in class tonight.
All right.
Good night, all.